Okay, guys, welcome to the match 2.
How these two teams have been playing out over the course of this year, and they have very similar map and picks.
Kita akan langsung menonton T1 versus DRX, teman-teman.
Playing everything so far and overall looking pretty good. I'd be curious to see where
kayaknya
this
sih
video
ini
ends up going.
sengit sih kalau T1 yang lagi perform bisa sengit, tapi kalau T1 yang kayak turu kayak kemarin kayaknya agak berat. Soalnya Kak Sosoku si Koko Escurent lagi sakit tangan kalau nggak salah, lagi cedera kalau nggak salah.
I'll talk about the video in a second.
Betul
Somebody
nggak?
pointed out like the last time that Termi was not wearing a suit was when they got absolutely bodied, I believe, by Gambit.
Wow.
So it's been a while, but he's going for it. As it's going to be Icebox banner. And, okay, Lotus banned away here by DRX. I think that makes absolutely perfect sense, even though Lotus in their own right is a strong map.
Termi nggak pakai jas lagi dong.
Ya
juga ya, Termi tuh main banget ya nggak pakai jas ya.
Do we go back towards something like Ascent or...
Split.
Okay.
Halo Bang, halo.
DRX, I mean, this was kind of old faithful for them. Their longest win streak ever was on this map. And yeah, exactly. So I'd be fully anticipating just, Bane playing that Omen Mako on the Viper again, just going for some kind of crazy lurks, but
it does make me wonder how T1 will perform though, because still, although we did have Rossi consistently on the Viper, last week he started to show that KO a little bit, and sometimes, not really quite working together, not gelling too well with the team, except for, certain rounds on Lotus and
okay.
Sunset.
Well,
Bind decider
again.
Yeah.
Should this go to the distance? So,
This
I
could
think it's
go
going to
well.
be very.
But he's split
This is
by-
going to be very different looks, I think.
2-1 nggak sih? 2-1 nggak sih?
Obviously,
T1, let's go T1.
Carpe would be running something like the Gecko, but I don't necessarily think that it would have, maybe the harbor and whatnot around it. So this would be a completely different look compared to what we have seen in the past. But I'm very curious to get into this first map.
Oh yeah, this is very historically how they.
Oh, bedanya ini pakai harbor, dia
Very
pakai ini
evenly
guys.
matched. Even the comps a little similar.
Yeah, I mean,
got the harbor
Oke,
on the,
Sentinel
on the
guys.
team.
Yang penting menang apa menang 2-1 guys.
Was definitely
Barang
something
si Adil,
that was
man, si
very
Adil
fun to
live,
watch.
guys.
I don't know if it's going to be the same this time comparing to his performance from last week, but hopefully, there's a bit of recovery because you have to be.
Yeah, I mean,
up there.
You have to be having that impact if they're going to be sticking to the Yoru composition. For the side of DRX, I'm curious if they also decide to do that, because I mean, it was a very different setup for them. I mean, you had like
roster,
Stax, Stax was playing, like the Sova and whatnot. And while I think overall he looked much improved, Buzz has never been much of a Yoru player. So with Bane in the roster, I actually am a little bit. I'm a little bit curious if they would shift Bane onto Yoru and then have Buzz play Jet or something to that effect here.
I could see that happening. We have seen Buzz on Yoru
Escurent main bang, main.
A while back, but I do believe this could be a bit of a test for Bane. Like this will show whether or not he's up to snuff, up to task, if he's able to flex on these agents and still go back to that duelist role. Meanwhile, Foxy9, hopefully it's going to be that still consistent performance because he's been doing a pretty good job as the Sentinel.
Oh gosh, they're watching the game on the laptop there, the little dudes.
Looking up stats
Kind of cute.
first.
I think it's a lot safer back here because there's no paper thin to throw them around when teams win for the first time in ever. Let's talk about predictions. This is I'm not sure.
Santai aja bang, mukanya bang.
We're not actually. Okay, we're all predicting
Oh no,
that
no one support T1.
Yeah, but William always does that.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say, who could have seen it? William
I
with a
know.
punt prediction.
I know. William being William. That aside, did you guys change your predictions based on T1's last 2 matches, or?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I thought that, I mean, look, I don't think that this is hopeless at all for T1. I think that if they are going to be coming out and they're going to be in solid form, especially if Izu is going to be able to find similar impact from kickoff on Yoru, I think that T1 absolutely can take this series. It just does that carry across all of these maps here. Because DRX right now, I think overall they look very solid. It's a little bit difficult to kind of pick things apart and say like, well, this is something that they really need to start working on. I think there's some minor stuff, but for the most part they look very clean. Whereas T1 last couple series, a hell of a lot more to point at.
How about
For
you,
me,
Clark?
I mean, like, if this were kickoffs T1 versus kickoffs DRX, I might still have leaned towards DRX. T1, they've been looking to, improve and show us a lot of new things, but DRX is still just that good. They know everything. They are able to set up. Unless T1 shows that they are able to counter some of these plays, it's going to be tough.
Well, I know the crowd's ready, and they're going wild because we have 2 Korean teams about to face off. Let's go over to your casters. William voting for T1 and Paperthin.
Bang, ini Amel ulta bang. Happy birthday Amel ya.
And it's crazy that you think it's just because I want to make silly predictions, because what I want to do is not diminish DFM's victory, all right? I thought that was a very well-deserved victory against a very strong team. I think T1 should be able to regroup from a lot of the mistakes they made. But of course, I mean, DRX is looking better
T1 mainnya bagus guys ya.
play with Bane.
Kita dukung Koko Excurate, bro.
Worrisome for T1 because you're in a state where maybe your mental isn't where it needs to be. You got beat by DFM, a team that you're not expecting necessarily to go down against. But I mean, I think they can bounce back. It's just going to be whether or not, to me, it's a mental game for T1. That's really the biggest thing.
Absolutely, for sure. It has to be a confidence play between these 2 teams. Of course, a lot of history between the orgs as well, but also here in VCT. T1 yet to get that ever-elusive victory against DRX, who used to be the original Kings of Korea. Can they do it here in Stage 1 of VCT Pacific 2024? Let's find out as we welcome the players to the stage.
TikTok. Anjay. T1. Bang Darke sekarang jadi caster ya? Bukan Darke. Undefeated.
DRX. Undefeated, locked and loaded, we about to go. Caught him with that left, I leave him tapped out on the floor. Sounding itchy, sticky, swishy, watch me bank a score. Up in the boat, I'm in the zone, yeah. Go to the fire, the breath. King of the jungle and beat my chest. This I'm posing the play.
Semangat kok Kevin, let's go. Kok gak keluar sih? Kayak jaket. Wih, jaketnya bagus, bro. Sebenarnya T1 tuh performnya bagus guys, cuman kayak banyak unlucky moment aja teman-teman ya. Player barunya DRX ganteng juga ya. Paperrex gak punya jaket bang, banyak jaketnya Paperrex anjir. Ada berapa banyak bro jaketnya Paperrex malah. Steps of cool scared, now you on the run. You gon' hear my soundtrack go dun 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 dun. I'll be starting riots when I pull the stun. I got him shook, I'm on a road, check my stats. Ain't no rivals, ain't no rivals. In the rubble. Setelah syarat join DRX minimal ganteng bang.
Versus DRX, T1 just looking to get back into form while DRX
tinggal di Korea, T1 janji sama DRX, betul.
Representing their new merch here, of course, featured on their team capsule as well. DRX 2024 Ascent. Can they continue that upwards trajectory is the big question.
No doubt. I mean, you got to be looking at DRX and thinking, man,
yang
it's
smoker
really
baru tuh main OP kayak si Bane.
Only having a couple days before the stage started to really integrate himself with this roster. And for T1, the hopes have been high for them coming into 2024. This is a roster they were really confident in, and so far it hasn't panned out. Is this going to be the turning point for T1? Can they recover from this loss to DFM is the big question on everyone's mind. Certainly they can, but it is a difficult task. You know, they've never beaten DRX yet, a different looking DRX. But man, oh man, a lot riding on this match already this early in the stage.
Absolutely.
Plus kapan mulai dipakai bang? Week 3 katanya sih week 3 guys.
Excitement during the off season, coming out with new looks, new comps, confident clutches, great comms, great vibes on stage. People said this was a squad to look forward to, a global squad on a Korean team.
Dua duelis seperti biasa sama.
Was trying to theorize on what would be the roles here at DRX, but it looks like we hit it spot on. Bane will be filling in that your role. Allows Buzz to continue to be that fixed primary duelist in the Jet. And Foxy9, of course, continuing as that sturdy
Bane Yoru.
Yeah, and when you think back to this comp for T1 in particular, when they last played this map, it was against Bleed. It was a multi-overtime affair. The real thing I'm looking for here for DRX is to shut down Saya player if he gets an op. That was where a lot of the damage was done for T1. Saya player plus 15. The only person who was able to take the op out of his hands was Djaja on that Neon.
Di Tokopedia ada, cuman kayaknya nggak lengkap guys stoknya. Kalau yang lengkap tuh dari Singapura teman-teman ya.
If they get to that power weapon, how are you going to have the ability to deal with that? That doesn't require a Neon like running in the face of Saya player.
Yeah, that's the big question. Of course, Saya's operator, the marshals, the outlaws, anything with a scope, Saya will use it to great effect. See if DRX can shut it down or perhaps even just deny the opportunity throughout this map as they start on the attacking side. Of course, this
let's go.
hit coming in
T1
themselves. So on the defense, playing with that no sentinel, oftentimes
T1
push out to try to gain some more control of the map, try to cut it up a little bit more with things like the Cascade, the High Tide. As we take a look at DRX setting up on the A side for a bit of contact early on.
T1
are going to be ready. Izu now trying to work his way through so that Yoru utility, just a flash, available for him. Cleared the dart.
Sheriff at the ready for Carpy, but it gets dropped immediately, and Mako kicks things off in perfect fashion for DRX. Excurit will try to stabilize with the Cascade, but he's so low on health, 15 HP. Saya player now with the Sheriff. He'll try to find a timing as the opponents on DRX have already gone through the stairs. Excurit just trying to stay alive. He just wants to buy time until his teammates arrive, but Saya player can't land a shot, a single one onto Buzz.
Oh no,
and
that's not good.
That's
not good.
It looks like it's all
That's not
down
good,
to
bro.
Rossi. Picks up the Sheriff. He can land the shots. Still doable considering the health on Mako. He can dwindle down the numbers. But DRX, they're just not giving him an angle at all.
Look at where Bane is tucked away right behind that crate. Already taking a little bit of damage to Rossi, not much at all. Buzz just tagging him up for a few hit points.
Yeah, look at that reposition from Buzz as well. Just goes in between the pyramids. Doesn't want to give that long-range sideline to the Sheriff. And Bane's ready for the peek out. It's going to be 4 members left alive for DRX. Even picking up a Sheriff here on the side of Bane, and a great start for the Korean
This looked like a really good read here from DRX, kind of expecting this push out from A. Mako's just waiting with open arms. You know, they can see they get 2. You lose Carpe and Izu. A lot of that retake utility taken out of the hands. Had it come to that, didn't really. Saya player not able to find his shots. Rossi in a near impossible situation. Only going to be an investment into that
sakitnya sih gua rasa nggak sakit banget, cuman kayak ada cedera dikit, masih bisa main lah. Cuman nggak optimal aja guys.
As long as he's got 950 in the bank for sure. See if it finds a target though. Now scoping down to allow for his teammates to position for a push up, but that's going to be spotted by Mako. DRX, do they wait for the entire push out? The rest will be pushing into Cave. Continuing with the old FPX current Na'Vi buy with the 3 rifles, 3 Vandals in hand for DRX.
That's not the typical buy for DRX either.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of became meta around the world for a brief moment, and then half armor, all these other things came through. So DRX, they're trying to bring this back into Pacific. Curious to see kind of what data they were looking at to rejuvenate this. We'll see if they can make it happen as the Marshal awaits. The drone not going to spot him in time, but the TP in, and it's going to be Izu who gets the first kill. Trying to get another as he pushes out onto the site. Now everyone corralled out the backside of the pyramids. Buzz finds a timing as he swings back out, trying to expand their territory here for DRX in the post plant. Izu, he's been noted low on health. Mako finished him off, and it's all down to Carpe with only 10 HP.
Belajar kayu lagi bang, nggak tahu lihat nanti malam guys ya. Kayaknya skip sehari deh.
You can see that they're watching for that flank. Izu even TP'd back over there to make sure that this angle is covered. Set up the quintessential DRX crossfires where everybody's on point, knowing what their job is. Now they leave the site, expecting maybe that there's potentially one player lurking. See if they can catch it.
Yeah, Buzz very low, so if they want to carry over as much as they can, maybe send someone else first, as everyone already took a lot of damage on their armor, and it is going to be Stacks who peeks out, gets a kill. 1 more point towards that Hunter's Fury. All 3 rifles kept alive. 4 members continuing on for DRX.
Yeah, looking good. I mean, this is now you're going up against the full rifle buy, essentially in the bonus against DRX.
bang, betul.
Yang
Excuret yang main
relatively cleanly. Good job there by Bane, taking space early with that TP, catching Saya player in a bad spot, and able to do some good damage. DRX seeing if they can turn this map on its head. It was a pretty even affair for T1 on both sides of the coin on Breeze. 6-6 against Bleed the last time they played it. Let's see if they can avoid kind of a rough start like they had against Bleed, where Bleed took 5 or 6 in a row to begin the map. Bane going to be farming those orbs, as the orbs do on this particular
I mean, we'll see. The record continues to be held by Forsaken.
Yeah.
Seeing him out.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts in the AVL. Just absolutely insane.
Never seen so many different dimensions being opened up since Dr. Strange came by, but boy, oh boy. Don't think Bane's going to get there anytime soon.
Siapa bang? Tadi menang Paperrex 2-1.
good nonetheless. Kind of disrespecting the high tide as well. That's 4-6 Secure to
Kenapa
hold
nggak jadi
a
pure
far
opera
back
aja bang?
position.
Gampang guys,
Meanwhile, on the
operator tuh
side,
gampang di trade, gampang di apa sih? Gampang di counter teman-teman sebenarnya, makanya kayak kalau kebaca banget, gampang banget di counter ya bro.
T1 right now. They need to push out for contact, but he's checking the wrong corner, and it's a swing out for Buzz as well. They thought it was a further back shot, and it was, but little did they know the Jet holding close, sight broken open. And now T1 on their first buy round, down to 3 members already.
The discipline and the reads have been so good for DRX. It's going to be a couple players from a lot of different directions.
Santai banget mereka, Cok.
Potentially going to have to account for.
Ya dikit bang, suara
Like now though, they're going to move away from elbow, 2 from Link, 1 from the site.
They'll approach the site itself. Cascade to cut off that angle, but it's going to be Bane who tags him a little bit. Forces Secure to just stand there, wait for another peek out, and look at this, just the ping pong back and forth in the aggro. And DRX looks like they never lost a beat, even with Bane entering. As the flash comes down, Bane gets the last kill, and it's a 3-0 lead.
It's just good reads from DRX so far. They're really understanding the ideas that T1 wants to try to implement. And every round that they get, again, keeps Saya player away from that operator. The harder you make that, the better. Here's for a little bit of a walkabout. There's a crossfire already set up. They're just waiting with open arms. Reposition, good flash here from Bane.
Nice!
And so far, so good for DRX. Just really not doing anything too crazy. Just finding some of these aggressive pushes from T1 and eliminating them pretty quick. This high tide gonna maybe try to set up for Carpe.
He hasn't checked both sides yet. Carpe still hit it, but Buzz is ready for it, as they did spot Excurid as well. So DRX well aware of the potential push out with something like that on the high tide. Sight taken over. The perfect timing of the ultimate as well for the cycle for DRX. Dimensional Drift now against the Eco, and then they'll have other ultimates cycling through in the next couple of rounds. Foxy9 on the lurk. I mean, using the Eco round to start this type of conditioning is huge, as Rossi gets 1 kill from afar. Plants use it close, but it's still just not enough weaponry for T1 to try to make a dent against DRX.
Almost impossible here. Saya
Got
with that Marshall.
Yeah. Trying to get a kill. Easy gets 1, tries to land the second. Has to readjust, gets pinged, waiting for Saya to go for the trades. Spike is taken down, so at this point, just looking to do some damage on the economy of DRX, but look at their creds. They're not going to be too sad one way or another, as they will actually finish off all the kills. Mako 1 point away from the Viper's pit. Yeah, just want to run away just a bit more, just in case of that Spike explosion. But that's Bladestorm online. Ultimate's getting close, full armor, rifles across the board as well.
Yeah, I like the way that this is set up. It's a good ping out from the Dimensional Drift. Setting up the rest of the team there is Bane. And then there's also the lurking Foxy, which is great. But also I noticed, I was paying really close attention to DRX players in main after the post plant. They were being very diligent about watching that ropes entrance to see if another player is going to come through there. That was one of the few kind of surprises that has caught them off guard so far, was when they lost the player there very early on in this half. But this time around, they're looking for it, because as T1, you got to be thinking about those deep Mako post-plant setups with those snake bites. This is something he's so well known for, is these lineups he has from that ropes area outside of main. And really tricky to deal with unless you've got flankers that are able to displace him. Not only can he buy time, but then he's going to be able to quickly get back up there to cover that spike after his util is out. So certainly something DRX is already looking to be aware of. How can T1 find a way to break through?
So T1 soalnya lawannya ntar berat-berat semua, Job ini, Job. Really discuss the win conditions here, as they haven't really been able to take control of any one part of the map.
Zeta belum.
Again, something we talked about, the lack of that sentinel does make them have to get a bit more proactive, but it all comes down to the timing, where DRX has been 1 step ahead. Looking at the minimap, T1, the answer, trying to take a little bit more control of mid.
Smart. I'm really curious about this outlaw buy for Buzz. Is this expected to have armor purchase from T1 affecting the full? There is the Bladestorm, of course, as well, which is certainly what Buzz is.
Kalau DRX bosan mainnya begitu-gitu doang, guys. Tapi kayak DRX ini sangat konsisten, guys ya. Dengan strat dan gameplaynya mereka sendiri, mereka tuh kayak punya irama mereka sendiri, guys. Susah buat ngelawannya, bro.
The confidence, and also perhaps just not wanting to risk giving over an op in case he drops it, but still using something at long range in case there are half armors. We'll see if it comes into play at all. It's just going to be a pinch onto A from the metal door, and it's going to be Buzz high up above. Meanwhile, Foxy9 takes out 1 kill in the middle of the map. Excurid will hold strong, and Carpe swinging out as well. Sprays for a bit too long, gives Mako a chance to recover. Bane finds one, can't land the shot onto Rossi. Has to get the gate crash. Mako down, Bane catches one, gate crash out. Now Spike still a little ways away, but Izu has not heard the TP. Bane's just looking for it, and he finds the target. Izu, no idea about the opponent. Yoru's jumped through the dimensions.
Oh boy. This looked like it might be good for T1. They're able to obscure themselves enough. Xcurit's able to avoid the kill from the shorty by Buzz. But then they get a little lost in the sauce. You know, Bane reveals his position with some shots that whiff onto Rossi, but Rossi's expecting the aggression towards the bridge angle, not towards the pyramid. He gets caught unaware. Then Izu, like you said, just that Yoru utility can be so tricky to know exactly where it's going to end up, where that gate crash actually landed. You expect it to have gone back to main, potentially. That's where they have been going, but he just isn't able to track it. So now you're going to have to use this Viper's Pit to try to control some space, continue to push out towards mid. So the idea is for T1 carrying over from the previous round, but they weren't able to make it work. This round, can they?
And DRX, they want to try to see if they can make a pinch happen once again, but this time T1, they pushed out much earlier in the middle of the map, putting pressure, forcing them to have to go through halls where Carpe is waiting. But it's one too many people. Going drone just to confirm. DRX, they will just go ahead and show the double peek, force T1 to back off. They planted Izu in mid. Mako, he's aware of it, but he swings right into the crosshairs. There's a gate crash out, still able to hold that mid angle. Meanwhile, DRX, they're trying to win out in halls, and they will. Bane eventually staying alive. Foxy9 regains control of mid, so still the option to try to break through this Viper's Pit is up there. But T1, they're the ones who's lost all control. Look at them, spread out all across, and Izu has to go for a hero play to try to push out.
This is so tricky. Yeah, right there with that trap wire as well.
But he's not watching the right side. He's not aware of the arches, and it's just a bit too late. He's too distracted by the trap wire. And Stax will get the kill. Foxy9 once again planted, gets information about the swing around from arches. Xcurit, he's going to fire the clone, and T1, they are just getting distracted by every single piece of utility from DRX.
It's masterful. DRX has a great read on this map so far, and Bane using that fake out so well. It looks like it's part of the push. So Xcurit goes for it, pays the price every step of the way. Rossi, though, sees the back end of Foxy9, tags him up for just a little bit of damage, but has to be saving this gun at this point. The economy is once again in the dumpster for T1.
See Bane bringing the smiles to DRX once again. Definitely, we've seen a lot more laughter from them on the stage.
Let's see, guys.
Coming into the season for stage 1. At this point, DRX, and they're pretty much the Batman to T1 right now. T1's just fighting their own demons, shooting at everything but the players of DRX. I mean, they're getting distracted.
I know. You're absolutely right. Well put. Yeah. And after a timeout too, man, it just seems like DRX is so confident right now, able to spread the map so well. Bane looking super comfortable on this Yoru. Util really good. The shots are great too. That helps. Yeah, just Izu there. Slightly unfortunate timing.
Kena timing terus guys si T1 ini guys, bahaya ini bro.
Didn't matter. It's too late. Now Mako with the Viper's Pit, the Outlaw again. Going to be purchased against these half armors this time. Against the Eco.
Right here.
Certainly makes a lot of sense. You do have a few ultimates available for T1 that maybe they can find some value out of. The Hunter's Fury, if you can get a ping, you get a free kill potentially. No lockdown to worry about, so certainly something to consider.
I mean, you see how confident they are. Oh, but look at this. Not checking Messiah on that jump through. Stax just going to barely miss that. That cuts off Bane. But he will still be able to push the forces of T1 back on the site. However, backup arriving. DRX well aware of this timing. We need to see if there's a reaction, a push out, anything to try to recover the weapon, try to swarm DRX. T1, they've already cleared out A main. They're starting to push that out on the minimap by Xcurit.
Jeez, Buzz. This is so aggressive.
The Jet, and he gets the shot right through the poison cloud as well. Dwindles down the numbers. They still got 50 seconds. Trying to fake the rotate, cuts audio, and looking to creep in once again. Now the rifle in the hands of Buzz. This is when the entry happens, but the same angle held by Izu. This could be everything. No, Mako swings out, and DRX they fan out, but the remaining members of T1, they'll dwindle down to numbers. Carpe good for 2, and now Foxy9, he has to clean up the site. It's a 1v2, 30 seconds. He has to recover the spike first. Euro dead, but only 10 HP, and all the way from mid. Xcurate will finally secure the first round for T1.
Yeah, a great hold here. I thought maybe DRX might be a little more patient on that exec. I thought they were waiting for the recon. Instead, Buzz just pushed up there and got a free kill. But then eventually they do wait for the recon. But that allows T1 to kind of set up, get those sheriffs in place to clear the recon quickly. Doesn't really give any info to DRX. Kind of works against them. Yeah, Mako's able to win that kind of difficult angle there. These are some nasty shots with Carpe. We know how good he is with that sheriff. Exactly. Seen it time and time again.
All targets clear.
Yeah, really good angle coverage from T1, like you mentioned. And now, T1 finding some confidence. They'll push out with the Dimensional Drift. There's Hunter's Fury. He gets tagged on one, and he's continuing to try to find him. The second, the third, it's all gonna miss, and Izu just has to back out. Mako is brought down very low, but they haven't secured the area, and they haven't secured the kill just yet for T1.
I like it. It's a good attempt. Now Stax has Hunter's Fury of his own. Counter. Usually, you're gonna see that be more of a post-plan idea for DRX. Typically, but Xcurate so far out. Izu going for the lurk. Nice. Foxy
swings out. Foxy9 not quite ready for it. Wanted to check Nest first. So now the counter-dimensional drift. They'll take that Q to try to push in. The Cove denying that flash. And Bane will take over the Cove for the time being, but they're now trapped inside. Xcurate only good for 1 kill. Bane will stabilize. He flashes out of the toxic screen. Gate crashes back out. Izu, meanwhile, drops the spike away from DRX. 40 seconds on the clock. The gate crash to try to create a crossfire. But Rossi might be aware of it. He's up far. He gets 1 kill. Checks for the TP and then swings right back out after confirming that the Euro should still be in main.
Now that op could potentially, yep, it's picked up by Rossi, go over to T1 and right in the Saya player's hands. Now this is where it gets tricky for DRX. You got 6. The win condition that worked so well for T1 the last time on this map has fallen over to them. Izu here. Just Foxy was looking up. He didn't quite expect someone to be coming under his nose that quickly. Rossi clean with those 2 kills. Nice angle held by Izu, not over aggressing on it. Interesting. You know, is this the old school DRX on Breeds, right? You grab the op, you let Buzz see if you can find his you drop it over to Stax. It used to be Zest, of course, but now it's Stax on the Sova for those post plants. Kind of funny to see how the players may change, but some of the ideas don't.
Yeah, still want Buzz to, of course, break open the site. Curious to see Stax' offing. How does it fare against the likes of Buzz or Zest? But maybe we won't get to find out at all, as, of course, now T1 will have the operator on their side. A timeout from DRX.
Undefeated.
Of course, with Termi in the jersey.
The biggest change of the year.
Quite frankly, it really is. Forget all the roster changes. ZOWIE Pacific, yeah, that was pretty cool for a while. But Termi not in a suit. Just
shocking the world, yeah.
It really just does feel awkward, doesn't it?
It does. It feels off. It's been so long seeing him in those suits. But you know what? Hey, they're winning, so it ain't broke, don't fix it. But now, gonna have to be a bit of a change up for DRX after their timeout.
Kalau kalah soalnya udah tinggal 3 kali match lagi, guys.
Disciplined play here from T1. The mid control had been working, but it looks like this time they're more comfortable to seed it over. Gate crash way back. Contest A main. Leave Izu and out if B is gonna be the hit.
And it looks like the op just wanting to set up on A main. DRX, though, they might have a read on this, and it's a quick push in. Buzz right up above. Gets both trying to anchor down on the site. Izu, he's providing backup, but he might just be a little too late. He has to stay alive all alone. Goes for the flashes to buy time. Finds a third. He is able to get that kill. Now only 2 members left alive. Finds another. They still don't know about Mako's position, but Izu might be well aware. That's a triple for him. Stays alive. Spike dropped on the site. Calls for backup. T1 has arrived on the site. Now it's all up to Foxy9. T1's rookie trying to bring up this round. Can Foxy9 answer back?
Tough situation for him. Carpe right over there. Sees the head.
Sees the head. He finally notices it. A little bit shaky, but will secure the kill, not taking too much damage. Still just not quite sure. Did this Euro leave? Is he back? So many angles to check. And Saya will make the call if Foxy9 ever crosses over. Foxy9 finds him at long range. Saya's just not looking for it, perhaps looking around, trying to clear the other side of the pillar. And now Izu the mind games. It's already been 20 extra seconds. Is Foxy9 well aware of the possibility? There's a cyber cage. He taps it. But Izu's just going to wait. He's going to start to push forward. Gate crash used. Is it going to be a fake? Is it going to be a TP? The mind games are on board. He's actually going to TP over Foxy9. He's trying to read that it's a fake. He's trying to clear all the possibilities now that he knows it's not the fake, but Izu will get the quad. And the rookie shines once again for T1.
Mantap.
As he brings over a third round, looking for the operator first.
Just what an insanely brilliant round here. Able to then settle down, get his dimensional drift online off of this defuse as well. But this 4K is Izu bailing T1 out. A great setup with the gate crash off the rip. It was a 3-man push towards A main. Then he's able to just be there in case it is a full-on B hit. It was. Buzz does a good job getting up on top of the pillar, getting some big kills, but at the end of the day, Izu's just too much for DRX to handle.
Oke, dua ulti lah guys, ada saya player ulti, saya player OP, Izu pakai ulti guys. Bisa ini guys, bisa 6 sama ini.
Getting in his head just enough, able to find that.
Uangnya udah balik kok uangnya.
Final kill and win. Foxy looked like he might be able to sneak one away. It's been pretty nuts, but now you got a bit of a weaker buy finally for DRX. The cash reserves have run out.
And the operator set up on A main once again. A jump peek. He gets spotted. He dashes forward a little bit. He gets body blocked by his own teammate. But Izu will go for the trade. Tries to stabilize this round. They have to win it out. If anything but Messiah. And they will. And they should be able to recover the operator. My goodness, I've never been more scared for a player during a cast.
Jet tuh ngebak tahu, Jet tuh ngebak tahu guys. Yang kemarin gua itu yang gua bilang Jet itu guys, gua pakai OP kan, sadar nggak sih gua di Asen, gua tes ke belakang, tapi jadi ke depan itu aneh banget. Ngebak tahu ada baknya sama gua.
They'll recover the operator. Izu doesn't let go, doesn't get shaken up by the body block, knows what the mission is.
Gua udah bilang kemarin yang waktu itu guys, yang Jet tuh dia ke belakang tapi jadi ke depan.
And these are these contact plays that T1 is happy to take, especially now with an op in hand.
Get out of my way.
Good combo there with the utility. But DRX just pushing the pace.
Yeah, they're just going to go for the 5-man push once again into the site with the Blade Storm.
Nggak tahu sih itu beneran banget atau enggak ya, gue merasa kemarin sih.
One kill, and it's going to be a jump over from Buzz. Trying to get above, he's trying to get the right click and misses a Saya player. Waits for the shorty, but it's going to be a quick swing around. As we see DRX.
Kemarin gue udah ngetes guys yang pas gue di Essen tuh. Kalau lu nembak OP seperti nih, kayak nembak OP des belakang gitu kayak agak ngompak gitu guys. Gue kemarin udah tes soalnya.
They're gonna use the drone. You have the Viper's Pit though. Will cover the spike and the back sight.
Hit really trying to deny this. DRX, they just want to continue the lead here in the first half. They want to expand it all the way up to 7. Now one member pinged out the Cove use. Try to get at least to the half. It's not right in the pit just yet. They're right outside of it. They're not quite sure of it. They're checking for the spam, and he actually gets the defuse. DRX. A crucial mistake. Trusting their utility just a bit too much.
Oh boy. That's a heartbreaker. DRX does so many good things here. Buzz with a phenomenal entry with the Blade Storm. They're able to, it's just not quite there from Mako. A rare mistake from the steady controller for DRX. I thought his timing on that Viper's Pit was great too. He waited until the drone came out to put it down. The drone is one of the few counters that you have left in the bag there for T1. Still, just the slimmest of margins can cost you rounds. Seeing why right there. Dimensional drift for Izu.
Here.
I'm like immediately looking, I'm like, is there another Hunter's Fury available for Carpe? Not yet.
Not yet, but he spots pretty much everybody here from DRX. He wants to challenge Foxy9. Shuts him down, rookie for rookie. Saya player, Blade Storm out. He needs to stay alive. The dash down for Buzz. And Saya says, sit right back down on the ground. As we see Bane now trying to chase forward. He's the drone for Stacks as he gets 2 kills. That's the 3rd for the round. Izu now back from mid. Needs to wait for Rossi, but he's going to try to hold on to the site. All on his lonesome. He's done it before, but it's 3 members. Rossi now arriving on the site. Izu, it's baited by the decoy for just a bit. Stacks during the reload, but it's just finishing in time. And now all 3 members of DRX will be set up for the post plant in A main. Tagged already for Izu, the crowd chanting for the IGL to get his moment in the spotlight.
Oh, God.
And oh, goodness, it is the last round of the half. He'll try to find him. He knows he's TP'd. And Izu just staying alive. The round surely lost. There's the snake bite to secure it. And a 7-5 lead at the half.
Izunya up 4 yang lain.
Well, it looked like it was going to be all DRX, but the streakiness continues on Breeze for T1.
Nice.
Just like we saw against Bleed, but it's so back and forth. I mean, in some ways, like even some of these rounds feel like one team's got it, and then somebody has a hero play like Izu or Stacks, and it's a completely different affair. So,
like Izu,
not the showing I want from Saya player. The op didn't feel as impactful as I was kind of expecting, but it was so aggressive from T1.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
So
even in that last
aggressive.
round, you know, Izu going out for the solo kill. Saya still trying to hold on to A main. Lots of flashiness, lots of individual play.
Makanya dapat pistol
At
juga
the end of
bisa
the day, the impact's not
Pistol,
found early
pistol,
enough,
pistol,
and that
pistol.
really seems to be the theme for the matches tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and DRX just really confident in their executes and stuff, getting these plants down, which they did pretty reasonably well. Some of those post plants were able to be disrupted. Some pretty good play from the side of T1. You know, that Yoru in particular, Izu looking really comfortable on it. I like the deepness we're seeing. The gate crashers were all over the place, and they were causing DRX some
tapi
serious
defense-nya kagak ada
fits.
sentinel, jir.
Some interesting choices with the dimensional drift, and I mean that in a good way.
Maksudnya Taker, Taker bisa,
You know,
bisa,
using it to set up Carpe for the Hunter
Mereka
Fury.
dua
Yeah, it doesn't
smoker,
work, but I
Taker
like
bisa
the
lah.
idea. Stuff like that. Got to dig a little bit deep here against DRX, who is, you know, as much as things change, again, things stay the same with them. They're still very good with their protocols, with their discipline. Post plants in particular, very difficult to deal with at times. Other than maybe one small mistake with the utility, might be 8-4.
Sure, yeah, that round, I mean, really allowed T1 to try to stay in the fight. But now on the pistol, can they take the initiative on the attack? It's going to be a share for Rossi on that Viper, so just a toxic screen on a default on A to try to start some conditioning as they creep towards mid. T1 opening up the map
Bisa.
very wide from the get-go here in the second half. Spike still waiting for them in spawn. Waiting for a reaction from DRX, but they haven't bitten just yet.
Trying to use this high tide to set up
Wah, ini enak
just
nih.
a
Mereka bisa
held
control mapnya enak
position
mereka,
from
guys.
Saya to cut off any rotates. But right now, actually, the Spike's still all the way in spawn for T1. They're just going to be holding pat, and Rossi takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a big one. Rossi down to 20. Now has to go back, picks up the spike for his team. And while they've taken over mid, they haven't really been able to take any further position. And Carpe just barely going to miss Mako coming out. Mako, does he have a sense here of this timing? Neither of them quite wary of each other's position. Meanwhile, T1 still on elbow by B. Carpe, he watches for it, he finds him, and now both of them aware. However, it's a pinch against Carpe. So he's now stuck in A main. The main forces of T1 now down to 30 seconds. They just have not been able to expand their territory here from mid. So the cut noise creep towards from tunnel. It's going to be a dash in. Checks for Bane, but they haven't cleared Foxy9 just yet. He's only good for one. Izu, gate crash all the way into the site.
Nice,
He'll get a double. Opens up the site for his team. Xcurit, he can't finish that kill, but stacks all the way down to 10 HP. Izu with a third as well. The rookie from T1 trying to claim his place in stage one as he gets a fourth. Can he get the ace now this time? The crowd chanting for it once again. And it's the ace for Izu, the future prospect of T1.
Unbelievable. Izu showing that potential that we've been hearing about right now on Breeze. 17 and 10, keeping T1 in this match through insane plays. Able to get the better of Foxy. The follow-up on a Bane. Bane had no idea where that gate crash went. I don't think many would expect it to be right back on the site like that. And he's right in your face. So these tricky Yoru plays working a treat right now for T1.
I mean, you give him something where he can get aggressive, of course. Used to be a duelist main himself. Gets that confidence right back. Had a shaky start to stage one last week. But he's back in form. 17, 10, and 2. Hoping to leave T1 to try to overtake DRX. Got Carpe watching out for him. He's trying to back out. Takes a couple hits. It's going to be trades back and forth. And Bane will get more for his troubles.
I was curious if DRX was going to try some kind of forced push off the back of that tap. They waited a little bit. Look where Rossi's gotten. Oh, no.
DRX is aware of this, though. They just swarm him all the way on the bridge. Bulldog picked up. Saya player, he has to defend the spot. He has to stay alive. It's the no-scope at range. Back scoped in. The Bulldog comes out, and it's going to be Saya player putting down stacks as well. Only one remaining member of DRX on this eco round.
Saya, so good. Those no-scopes, right on point. Foxy spotted at range, takes some damage. Thinks better of it. See if he can find a better angle to get a kill. Maybe just a tag on a Carpe. Carpe just bounce it around.
Oh, yeah, just fine for Excurit, it seems. It's going to be the flank around. Excurit will get another point towards striking as well.
Okay, let's go. T1,
Right.
T1.
Have a make or break round now. For DRX, in some ways, it feels like it's been rough defenders half so far. Now, sure, some of that came on the back of a hero play from Izu, but Saya, no slouch. That Marshall. See it time and time again. Now we get to really see
Let's go.
how deep the T1 playbook is. Get this bonus just like DRX did. It's not the same kind of buy for sure. DRX had full rifles in this round.
Time to jump.
Mostly have some pretty good guns, some Bulldogs.
T1 mana
Guardian
lagi
as well.
makan
Damage
dia
can
keluarga
be done
nih.
easy with an ultimate already.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? The dimensional drift. Can it create the space that T1 needs? Once again, the same default as the pistol, so the conditioning coming into play. Trying to push nest. The drone not going to check under from stacks. Not quite aware of how this high tide's been used by T1. Saya knows he has an opening. He's got a timing. Does he see it? But it's the swing out from stacks. Still suspects it. And baits Saya player right back into his bombs.
There was a fake TP in there, I believe, by Izu as well. They were trying to buy someone to come out that door, trying to bait him.
Mereka main default
Stacks
banget ya.
too aware. Really, really smart stuff from the IGL from DRX. That's not easy to read, the way that T1 set that up, and he did.
Yeah,
Izu
all
kalau
on
dapat-
his lonesome as
Izu
well.
kalau
So now
dapat si
T1 not too
Vipernya.
many options. Trying to consider if they want to use the dimensional drift or not. Trying to get some information, but he's way too out in the open. A bit of a Hail Mary there with the decoy. And now everybody getting spotted. Excurit will still thin the numbers, but that Cloudburst has an opening, and Buzz and Mako will use it to perfection. Excurit trying to do just a bit more damage. If he can take down Buzz, down to 35 HP, 3 bullets left, that would be enough for some happiness on the side of T1, but DRX will stabilize with 3 Vandals carried over.
Yeah, it's really just good
Sini yang
reading
suka ngevlog dia
of
sampai
the
press ya, Bang.
situation
Betul.
by DRX. The
Suka
damage
masuk
done,
blok ya, guys, kalau
mid-control
ketemu.
being completely seeded by DRX in the early part of these rounds. Just curious to see if that's something they're going to address, if they're going to keep letting T1 potentially overextend in those scenarios. Good play here from Buzz. Carpe trying to sneak up next to Buzz, maybe expecting him to, after getting pinged by some damage, for Buzz to go
TP-nya itu
back
harusnya
further.
dimasukin setelah temannya entry bang. Temannya belum entry soalnya.
Be holding that angle. High camera now. Foxy Nice, he switches sides of the map over towards A, setting up those traps and other things there.
Fast push, but the pop flash, he's looking down on the ground, and Saya antis it as well as he sees the animation come through. The calls are coming in. They know that the site has been opened
Nice
up,
banget Saya
and
player,
now
bro.
they're just going to go for the A site. Dimensional drift to make sure they clear it. They know that they've drawn away the positions away from DRX. DRX one to react.
Hanya
An attack
kosong,
like
hanya
that.
kosong,
The
hanya
site
kosong.
is clear. Spy cam
Tripwire
noted.
destroyed.
Trips cleared. And Spike planted for T1.
Yeah, DRX does not need to save,
Destroyed.
so they can definitely go for this retake. Not much in the way of abilities.
Kayaknya sih susah
Really get it done.
I
Some
must
good
wait a moment.
Harusnya 8
volleys,
sama
but
sih.
that's about it. So it's going to have to be some good
8
shooting.
sama sih. Kayaknya saving mereka
Start
coba
breaking
bisa
this
kayak
open
gini
if they
malah
decide to
juga.
go for it. They're going to back off, though.
They are going to just choose for the save. I mean, just too much space they would have to regain, it seems.
Yeah.
So while the economy okay,
Yeah.
they weren't sure of the lurks. They will find Excurit, so that's good information to stack on for future rounds. But DRX, happy to say that the time was not on our side. We will play it safe, just let it tie up 8-8, try to recover in the next round of round 17.
Nanti follow nggak bang? Kayaknya nggak tahu guys. Hari ini kemungkinan bisa jadi
Again,
enggak.
the mid control tried to be addressed by DRX, but instead, it's T1 who gets the better of them. Saya just
Keluar
outplaying him.
NMAX.
So, you know, Stacks does it to him one round, the next round he's ready to just turn it right back on its head. And that's basically round over at that point. Dimensional drift into the site, and away you go for T1. So, continued to have really strong mid pushes. DRX maybe left scratching their heads a little bit.
IQ-nya bang. Yoi.
Foxy over on the A site once again. Looks like maybe him and Mako are going to be
This goes here.
dueling
Ini sih kalau misalnya T1 selalu
exactly how it
dan dapat
looks.
terus.
But it looks like some kind of aggression early, potentially with.
Soalnya kalau midnya nggak dikontrol sama DRX, mereka tuh bisa lewat dengan gampang ya, pindah-pindah.
Izu just looking to clear some wires potentially, or if there's any aggressive push, maybe catching a player out.
Oh, the drone as well. A lot of investment from DRX. They would surely want a bit more damage. Now, they are fairly well aware, but there's a great angle held by Izu, but it's still going to be a one-for-one trade. Not quite ready for the second. Now, DRX getting a better idea of what this default setup was. They're going to start to pull back. They understand the possibility of a rotation back over to B, considering the contact. Reckoning made from the ult orb on the A side. So T1, if they want to, they can force their way into the site.
Ini adalah contoh konten creator dalam punya ini dikasih tinggi, nggak kayak sebelah baru tunjuk T1 sekarang nggak. Hey, orang lama sih,
Two players on site. HyperX cutting Buzz off, reckoning in right on Stacks.
He pushes in. He's trying to find a timing, and he sprays down for one, but it stops them all together, and they're gonna have to swarm through the poison cloud. Buzz, he's surrounded, can't quite land a kill to finish it off and dwindle the numbers. Now Mako already on site. He finds one Messiah player with 1 HP, is able to swing out. Now a 3v1. Foxy9, the spike hasn't been planted just yet. Notices the jet dropping down behind the wall.
Spike planted.
Does he check for Excurate behind the box? He has his eyes trained on main and doesn't look like it. He's not thinking about it. Excurate finds him. That's another point back towards another reckoning. And T1 will finally lead in this map 9-8.
Yeah.
Ini kalau kata gue sih dapat map 1 bisa 2-0 guys.
They're having right
Map
now on their back pick of Breeze.
Dapat moral boost lah bilangnya.
Maybe DRX could find some footing. Stacks doing what he can here and recognizes that he's in a, unwinnable position. So just has to go for what he can, gets the kill, and then Buzz is stuck in a bad position there. On top of that, Reckoning. It's good utilization of that ult to take space. Cutting DRX players off one by one. Great utilization of that high tide as well to divide that site in half, make it really difficult for DRX to really combine their fire, get any more than one and done.
Let's see.
So TRX, the game plan here on this attacker side looking really, really good. This time expecting a little bit more free space with this eco. They're going to be right. And high tide shifted over.
Just a quick push in. Meanwhile, I believe Bladestorm used by Buzz on the other side. So DRX, they still have a jet that they can try to set up. T1, they don't want to give an inch. They don't want to give timings here for the setup. They check for the decoy with the recon as well. That's 2 quick kills, and T1 looking very comfy. If DRX want this round, Buzz is going to have to pull some of his off-season heroics with the Bladestorm to try to tie things up against T1. Before the time being, Izu trying to shut down any sort of furball as well as Buzz dashes right into his death. Foxy9, again the last one alive, but very different circumstances.
Hey guys, dapat
yeah, pretty good. I mean, again, catching DRX players off guard. Some of this aggressive play that they're showing, using that util towards arches, make sure that it's a little bit safer.
Saya player tadi bot frag tiba-tiba jadi
motor. Now you're going to get into the operator for Buzz. This will be the round where DRX starts to turn it on its head, just like we saw with T1.
Pacific itu Asia
A little bit later into the half than you probably like as a DRX player, but definitely still opportunity to do some damage, but it probably has to start in this round as the cash becomes pretty low. Find yourself on another eco. Meanwhile, it's basically full buys for T1 across the board. Bladestorm for Saya, but not really going to be that important for a couple rounds, most likely.
Boy, it's a fast hit again, right above the trap wire as well. Foxy9 just trying to stay alive. You do have the backup from Bane, but he's been spotted around the corner. The flashes, it's not good enough as Izu and Saya player, they swarm on either side of the wall. Backside clear, site broken open. Rossi still in the lurk in mid. And DRX, once again, they don't have a good position for this retake just yet.
Yeah, Stacks getting a little bit of damage, I think, to Saya there. That's a really good snake bite, but Saya able to step just outside of it after the plant.
Revealing area.
See if it can be cleared in time. Actually doesn't catch anybody from that position.
Yeah, it's going to be Excurate. Still spotted, though, on that peak from Mako. Meanwhile, we're going to see Buzz. He finds the shot off to Rossi. Now a 2v2. The op's still online. He's trying to find a kill. Stacks will dwindle the numbers. It's all up to Saya, but he's only got 41 HP. He wants to isolate the fight. He gets one. He knows that Buzz has the op. Trying to go for the dash with the classic. Doesn't want to give an opportunity to Buzz. Thinks he would have approached a lot sooner. But Buzz awaits patiently. And it will be Buzz getting the defuse.
Oh my. Was that shot on Rossi? Not easy. Have to flick down like that.
Langsung 12 tuh.
Very challenging shot. And Rossi had an opportunity to put the aim punch in there. He took some damage. And Foxy stuck in a bad spot, nowhere to really run to. That's so hard to do. Stacks opening things up, good tracking. It's a good kill for Buzz.
Saya, I mean, just trying to play the mind games, doesn't want to wait for Buzz to take the initiative. But eventually it's going to be DRX catching back up to 9. The op in Saya player's hands this time, waiting for the peek out from Buzz. Neither jet budging just yet, but it's a test of patience.
Sabar-sabaran
between the two Korean jets. Saya player, his nose a little itchy, but his mouse hand's still on it. Nice and calm.
Carpe just looking to see if there's going to be any aggression. Maybe he can find that off angle or at least set up the trade for Saya, but Buzz with tremendous discipline. Not going to be giving that over. A high tide towards B, looking to try to sell a fake. They've been using these high tides for these B executes, but it's a pretty different one. It just cuts off Foxy's corner. It doesn't really fool DRX too much. There's a gate crash sent over just in case.
Oh boy, he's approaching. Both sides approaching, and they feel like it's been enough. And timing off of the flash. He goes for the blind shot, takes down DRX's operator, and there's an absolutely clear updraft from the Blaze Storm, trying to open it up, but still a 3v3. DRX are holding strong. He's secured on the lurk. Will take down Mako. Makes the site just a bit weaker. Izu popping out of the dimension. Will take down Stacks. Foxy 9. How many times have you been here? And once again, it will be T1 shutting him down.
Let's go. First pipe, yuk.
It's a great play from Saya to open this up. I mean, just ready. As soon as that flash was coming, he knew it was either hit that shot or die.
Wow.
And he hit the shot. And then he comes in with the Blade Storm right off the back of that, followed up by the Dimensional Drift to account for Mako to set up Execute for an easy kill in the mid. The combo play here from T1, so good. Now you can see why they've opted to lead into this map again. Their coordination on this attacker's side has been tremendous.
Just a really impressive showing. One of the reasons that a lot of people compare T1 as this mix of Paperrex and DRX is because of things like that, where they're able to mimic Paperrex in terms of just upping the tempo the moment you get an opportunity, right? Saya doesn't lose a single beat as he activates the Blaze Storm, dashes forward, and opens up the site, knowing that DRX is in disarray. Izu, it's definitely been an absolute nerve-wracking map for him. Tries to regain some focus and control, but this is going to be the timeout from DRX.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see if you're going to try to
guys, kalau Yoru lagi ulti, jangan pernah ngeluarin util, guys. Yoru tuh kalau pintar, lu ngeluarin util, langsung dia keluar.
I don't mind the idea from DRX, but maybe not with the op. I think I'd rather have a rifle there. Off of that flash. It's a little bit quicker to react. Now you're on a buy.
Dia ada util juga, guys. Itu yang bikin susah.
Marshall being purchased for Mako. No, he thinks better of it. There's a shorty in there. Mostly classics and a sheriff.
Yeah, shorty. We'll see if it has an opportunity for the dimensional drift as well. For now, just holding close on B, but the trap wire cleared from T1. The Cascade trying to draw out, once again, any reactions, any pushes out from the other side. A Saya player, he spots one. Looks like Stacks might have caught a glimpse of that. Wants to back away from Halls.
Yeah, Stacks going to try to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Bane's actually going to go for the Dimensional Drift here. He's going to spot a couple. Get 3. A lot of their position. Goes for the flash.
And he picks it up. Can he get the... Oh, he can't get the Phantom in time as Carpe swings back around. So a short-lived moment. But he does take out the Viper. So that pressure on a lot weaker now from T1. And the two members, Foxy 9 and Buzz, they can keep their focus and a high alert on the side of B.
Well,
DRX
kind of worked.
Sebenarnya serem, guys. Cuma DRX mungkin nggak sekuat itu map ini.
Yeah. Is it going to be enough?
Are we grasping at enough straws here?
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, I don't know if I would have rather had that ult for a different round when you have guns, maybe. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
30 seconds left.
Foxy 9, he's got an opportunity. They're creeping in. He sees the barrel, but he actually misses a shot to the poison cloud. A bit mismanaged on the length of the Vandal. Wasn't able to hit the headshot. And now, surely, DRX perhaps reconsidering that dimensional drift. So we're not going to find an opportunity. Mako will try to pick up a weapon. See what he can do with it. Is he going to go for a save? It might be, but he might not even be given that opportunity. He finds, sees the jet. Mako decides to wait. Does he go on the hunt for this kill? They've already saved up for the next round anyway. Sees the gun barrel. Saya trying to just peek out off of that. Mako having a little fun. Time ticking down though, so Mako will just wait to see if he can take away all the weapons on the side of T1. Another down, but Xcurit finally defending the arsenal of T1.
Jeez, man. Mako doing what he can to get some damage in it.
Menang abang, menang dong.
For DRX. 1 round away from dropping this Breeze map after a blistering start. Again, Bane able to find that one, but you know, Foxy just wasn't quite able to find that. He had the opportunity. Xcurit barely good for it. Actually, he got dinked in there, and he's left Mako now.
Oh, man. Xcurit looks like he's feeling a lot better today, that's for sure.
Tapi kayak Xcurit
Got the
sama Kode
taunts
tuan
coming
dua
out
aja guys.
online, the ultimates, a lot of them online for T1. Looks like they might look to pick up the tempo. Reckoning and Undersuri available. Buzz tries to land the shot. He gets the hit through the box. Rossi still healthy for the time being. Mako will pick him off though. There's Undersuri to clear the site. Bane now going for the trade, but Carpe with yet another with the bow and arrow. And Izu will stabilize the site. Stax gets pinged. Has to wait for his teammate. Foxy9 has to arrive, but no. Once again, last alive. Not fast enough to keep up pace with T1. And his first opponent will be Izu, who takes him down. T1 leads 1-0
Nice,
against DRX.
Nice,
and that's the bounce back you need after a tough loss against DFM for T1. Smiles, some pats on the shoulders, looking a little bit more in it. After a rough go of it, looked like maybe T1 was crumbling. They were able to right the ship, keep themselves in it. And now DRX maybe left scratching their heads a little bit, but I like the Breeze pick here. Not only because it works, but
comeback bro, GG lah
trying to
guys.
find some weaknesses in DRX preparation.
Absolutely, targeting their opponents in the right time. That's T1 leading 1-0. We'll send it to the analyst desk to break down the action.
And T1 take the first map in this Korean showdown between T1 and DRX. Izu really stepped up, and maybe today is the day where T1 finally defeats DRX.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been able to do it yet. This is the third time they're facing off against each other in VCT, 10 Invitational, twice. But this is also the third map that they've been able to take off them. They have always just not quite had DRX's number. Right now, they are fired up and looking hot. Izu, the man on Yoru is just the truth. Like, everything else is a lie. He just comes out, looks completely reinvigorated from, you know, the stumbles that he had in the previous 2 sets. This is exactly what you want to see out of T1.
Oh, absolutely. It was a bit of a slow start for T1. I think a couple of us were doubting a bit, but because of performances coming from Izu, coming from Xcurit, they really were able to climb back and make it quite a dominant win.
Yeah, I mean, DRX, you know, they had their own Buzz player, of course, I mean, your player Buzz, and he's trying to do certain things. They started out really strong in being able to entry, you know, with Bane and Buzz and the Jet, but towards the end of it, once T1 started to call some of these timeouts, they started to figure out how to play that defense and get the information that they crucially need to read DRX's movements. The comeback started to happen, and towards the end of it, apart from Izu's, you know, heroic plays, it's just these really slow pushes. They often take so much time to scout out the map to kind of figure out, or at least cause DRX to sweat a little bit, and then it's the last 30 seconds that they actually push. By that point, there's only like 2 or 3 players on a single site, and the whole team from T1 are able to take it down.
I remember there was a point where Bane and Izu had the same amount of kills. And it was looking really good, and then you got that ace and things just spiraled. I mean, 323 here on this Euro, 5 first kills. This was an immaculate performance. Everything you could ever hope from a Yoru player in the lobby. It's absolutely gorgeous, but one of the other things that we were seeing from T1 is not allowing for Foxy9 to get nearly as much value. I mean, yeah, there was a couple Wifty shots as well, but they're just keeping tabs on how he was going to be playing, knowing what his setups were going to be, and piloting, you know, very much around him over and over again. But like you mentioned, a really hot start.
Let's go.
They run up 6 rounds consecutively, I believe, and then are able to close out the final one in that half to make it a 7-5 scoreline. But I think that the timeout that was called by Termi after giving up 2 rounds to T1, probably regretting that, because yes, T1 was starting to kind of inch their way back in, but that did not help them at all, and then he had 1 less to try to work with to get them back into the game once they had swapped sides to the defending half.
Besok
just
RRQ
kind of
Spek
ran out
apa
of
WP
steam
dong?
as well. I mean, the team like couldn't really figure out what they needed to do, especially on the defense side. You know, because T1 takes so much time. And you could see that, you know, apart from the ace, there are these moments where Izu's really able, especially in that like 1v3 situation that Foxy9 had against him. Right, Foxy9 managed to isolate 2 duels, and then down to the one-on-one, he just kind of gets into an uncomfortable position, and Izu knows exactly how to play that duel at that point. You know, uses the gate crash towards the back of wall on B site, and this happens several times.
What felt very similar to me from what we saw in the first series after we had that texture ace on Lotus was DRX allowing that defuse to happen on that B site. Just not realizing the snakebite had missed, the carpet was just going to be taking through. We saw how hard T1 was popping off after that win. Everybody just laughing their asses off. You know, because that's an embarrassing way to lose a round. And I felt like that kind of broke DRX a little bit, especially for the rest of that attack side. And then they weren't really able to get back on the horse at all going into that second half.
Well, spirits are back up for T1 now as we go into Split, which is the second map of today. And DRX, well, they've won on Split before. How are we feeling about Split? This is DRX's pick.
I mean, yeah, DRX decided to show something a bit different. You know, not quite the what was it, the Team Secret iteration, because they were also going for Breach with Jesse Bash, but sticking to the double controller with that Viper and Omen. And overall, I think it looked pretty good. Anytime you get to see stacks on the Breach, it usually means that you're in for a treat, because this guy is still just absolutely goated on that pick. But right now, you know, T1, they're fired up. They have a lot of momentum. The players are looking a hell of a lot better compared to the previous 2 series. So it seems like having just a couple days to go for a bit of a mental reset, get some extra scrim time in. You know, focus on, you know, Xcurate was talking about how he's been having some wrist difficulties and whatnot. Focus on things like that. It seems to be working a treat for T1. So I definitely think that this probably does end up going to 3, but T1 could absolutely get 2-0 here.
It's possible. I mean, the T1 being fired up in this way, having that much confidence to go for these plays. You know, at the start when it was at 0-6, really quiet, and then they started to pop off. That's what we want to see. That's what we need to see. And apart from that, DRX, I don't think it's completely over for them yet. You know, Stacks did have a pretty nice like 4K round. Almost got the ace, but also like vintage Mako coming back in. What I want to see more of though is Buzz as that.
Gue sih bilangnya kemarin,
Sure.
Discord juga nggak apa-apa kok, nggak harus datang. Gue bilang daripada ntar lu sibuk kan. Discord bareng aja, Discord bareng, ayo gue bilang gitu guys.
Well, before we go any further, you know what time it is?
Oh, rank. It's time for me to down rank almost. Well,
Oh, besok lawan Bleed berarti bener ya?
Interesting. It's who is going to get more operator kills in map 2. And this time, if we tie, we will get...
Lucu banget, Jing. Ada yang bikin gini, Jing. Watch party Bang Winda. Watch party GLHF Son.
To me, I'm barely certain. Yeah, you know.
Ada yang
Shall we
bikin
just
kiri
show
tuh.
it? So you guys,
Why not?
1, 2, 3, yes. T1, I think when you got both Saya player and Xcurate on T1.
yeah, you have
Welcome.
really good
Welcome. Ajakin kan Mobu juga.
I mean, Carpet could
Besok,
play it as well
nggak tahu
if
sih
he
besok
wanted
guys.
to, but you've got 2 excellent
Dari mana nih guys? Dari mana nih bro?
player on that. But also,
Ada yang ngirim ya?
we'll just see more
Ada kiriman dari mana bro?
attempts at like attack side op for Carpe, so I feel like there's just going to be way more. It's Split is a weird map to really try that on, but he could do
Siapa dari mana nih guys?
So I think that there's going to be more opportunities for
Dari
them.
Bang Winda. Halo viewers ya Bang Winda yang besok mau watch party Valorant guys.
Saya player was getting the better of him, so I feel like T1.
How about you, Quack?
Besok jam berapa guys lawan Bleed guys? Cek dulu ya. Gue takutnya keluar. Gue nggak keluar kan besok. Besok hari Minggu ya. Besok lawan Bleed ya. Lawan Bleed bisa sih Paperrex. Paperrex RRQ gampang bro. Jam 6 malam lagi bro.
I think they're able to lock down a lot of positions if they are playing that defensive side on Split and DRX.
Let's go.
You know,
Welcome ya adik-adik ya.
Wasn't great. So
Oh ngasih bang,
I mean,
gue sih terus kan gue iseng pindah ke Bang Winda dibalikin ke sini lagi jir.
Last week alone, Xcurate stands at the top.
Aku bang yang kasih Kitsune apa Kitsune jir.
So that doesn't include him.
Abis live apa guys, Bang Winda guys?
Using chamber
Bang Winda abis live apa guys?
Next with 20 kills, Saya is next
Bang
with
Winda
14
abis live
kills.
apa
That's
guys?
2 T1 players on the top 3 from last week alone. and Buzz with 6 kills, and they're just not really an op team. So I mean, it was kind of an easy pick. Maybe they're just giving us a little rank up, a little pity rank. Yeah, maybe
Time
that's
to
a
get
good
the
round.
viewers to diamond. Let's go.
Well, I kind of like that. We are going to go to Agent Pick next. I don't foresee much changes coming from either one of these teams. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but we're going to find out.
During watch party.
I don't think that they're gonna have too much differentiation. I'd be curious if DRX do just
Kenapa
offer
inaktif
the same
during
box
watch
or if they
party?
go back to
Kocak dah.
something that's a little bit more vanilla, I suppose. I mean, this is about, I guess, technically. It's
Oh, dari Roblox, dari Blox Fruit, dari Blox Fruit. Anjay, ada bocil Roblox. Berarti guys, banner guys. Dribble menyambut viewers.
This time on T1.
And yeah, so Breach out, stacks in with the Sky. But Mako just going to be there with the Viper. So I think, yeah, this is...
Dribble setruk
somewhat
namanya ya.
expected
Dristruk.
and, for both teams.
Dribble setruk guys.
I like it though. I mean, having that double duelist, Izu as the Raze, that's kind of a little bit different. Apart from that, Execute as the Omen is, well, I guess something that he might have done before. I don't know how effective that op's going to be. We saw that with Texture a little bit. But yeah, we can definitely expect quite a bit of firepower from T1 with this composition.
No, for sure. For me though, I think especially...
Bang Winda marah-marah guys, ada yang donate Robux 1 juta guys.
I've been liking Buzz on the Raze a little bit more than when he's playing the Jet. There's a couple times when they were running Foxy9 in the roster alongside him that Foxy would come in 4 maps like split, and you would see Buzz playing Jet and Foxy playing Raze, and it felt like it was always a little bit inverted from what you would love to see to really maximize value. So I think that overall this should be okay for DRX, but as Quack is pointing out, like there's just so much more firepower when you do have that double duels coming in, and given
Let's see. Kita lihat guys, satu duelist.
T1
2 duelist tanpa Sentinel, dua duelist guys ya.
Up this year, and they've definitely upgraded. And the question
Karena
is
Izu lagi pantas dikasih duelist kali ya.
Takes down DRX, or is DRX going to continue rising to the top?
Aku di mana? Kamu di hatiku sayang. Bang. Kalau ada viewers Bang Winda, Abang harus kasih tahu Bang. Kasih tahu apa tuh? Kalau misalnya top up terbaik tuh di mana Bang? Top up terbaik selalu ada. Di pin komen cek aja mbahgaming.com karena VP paling murah untuk Valorant ada di sana. Dan diskon kalau pakai kode Rio. Thank you sayang.
To the top. Yeah, and with DRX starting on this defender side, having that controller in there, gonna see if they can find value out of that with Foxy9. Wasn't stellar on Breeze, but very different map in Split. A little more comfort potentially for Bane on that Omen. Already setting up for maybe a paranoia push or something like that.
Oh, and the dash in, the fake pressure here from T1. Now both of them get
Ya,
taken out very quickly before the main
hilang
force
dua.
can even enter onto B site. So this should be a pretty hard tell for DRX. The paranoia coming up, but they still haven't cleared the trap wire. Foxy9 good for 1. He won't be able to hang on, but Mako will clear Carpe. Now, Execute with 70 HP. The last one alive, trying to isolate more fights. And Buzz will find him right around the corner.
Thank you, Djaja. Welcome.
Easy pistol for DRX.
Yeah, starting right where they started on Breeze with a
Nah,
pistol
no,
round
baru
and a nice
influencer
little trap
T.
play.
Dia lagi
Some
keluar
contact
guys, lagi
bait,
liburan.
And then they use the Trailblazer along with some of that other utility to crunch in at the bottom of the
Selalu
ramp.
pistolnya agak kurang ya
Really
T1
just
ya.
shut T1 out, even though that was
Comeback
never
apa
the
tadi T1?
full
Yoi,
intention of
comeback
T1's
gaming.
game plan. Probably didn't want to lose 2 players there. Foxy9 doing a great job. Gets the info off his util. Able to find one, do a ton of damage to another. Mako.
Ada yang mau absen kayak Bang Winda Bang. Halo The King, welcome ya. Terima kasih sudah mampir ke channel Watch Party aku. Muah.
T1 be left scratching
Sabtu
their
depan
heads.
mau ikut basket Sabtu depan.
Pistol round
Entah
win
ada
on
Watch
that
Party
attacker side.
RRQ nggak bro? RRQ atau Paperrex nggak?
Especially going up against the controller that DRX has. You want to try to maximize value on this attacker side with a double duelist setup.
And trying to just get whatever advantage they can now here in their own
Ada
eco
game
as
berani
well.
tengah malam.
Saya, of
Game
course,
beraniku
still
sekarang
on
Valorant tengah malam.
Partial.
Bosan ya Valo mulu guys ya. Paling kecewa ya gue main Valo terus sekarang guys ya.
The Poison Cloud allowing Mako to reposition.
Ya, kalian kecewa guys ya.
Unaware of Saya's position so far. The orb already taken
guys ya, kalian
the
kecewa ya.
And T1, they already put
Main
down
Valo
the big
terus
pressure,
guys.
see if there's a reaction. They're trying to re-clear, but Mako, so clever about this. There's the ping, and that's the swing out one. Ooh, he's not able to get the second, but Stax is there for the trade. Mako peeps right back up as he sees a little bit more of that fight going through. Rossi this time, the only one alive with the classic. It's going to be a
Winda nggak Watch Party RRQ Valo Bang. Besok katanya lawan Blitz ya.
Yeah, I love the instincts here from
Grinding bisa radian
DRX.
Bang. Iya kah?
Sensing
Iya
some
kok.
kind of mid-aggression. They're able to get stacks there just in time to connect with the
Kakak
flash to bail Mako out.
Dev
And then
era,
here's that
wih
partial
anjing
shot.
Dev era
Instead
bro.
of trying to
Dev the
re-challenge
Diver.
that angle, he wisely
Ntar gue lagi
backs
nyari
down the
game. Gue
rope.
sih pengen sebenarnya gue nunggu ini guys, nunggu Elden Ring bang, ring seru
Side to
nih.
get. Snake fight as well. Saya tries to push it and pays the price. Really nicely handled there by Mako and Stacks in particular. Good combo.
Selang-seling. Gue mau Mobile Legends sih kayaknya abis ini guys, kemungkinan besar gue pengen review skin.
Bonus round.
Belum review sama sekali boy.
Gonna do some damage, get themselves on the board.
Yeah, it's going to be early counter pressure from DRX. Doesn't want any sort of rush up mid. That allows
Aku bocin Kaos sekarang.
Mako up near the box.
DRX kuat banget defense-nya bro. Susah nih guys nembusin defense DRX bro.
An aggressive smoke for T1.
Nunggu ini guys, nunggu update baru. Dengerin. Ya apa sih DLC.
Two people tied up at B at minimum, giving T1 a window of opening to reclaim mid. Keeping out memory of Mako on a very wide jump swing on that. Doesn't take too much damage, but he gets all the information he needs. Trailblazer, meanwhile, pushed out by DRX to clear out A main, so they know that all the forces were still
T1 lah bro, 2-0 lah bro.
They still have time.
Map 3 kayaknya sih.
Trailblazer trying to push down Mako, not able to get the stun onto him. So T1, I mean, things not quite going their way just yet.
But Carpe doing a good job, buying a little bit of extra time here with his util, selling his push towards A.
Yaudahlah, datanglah gue Jo. Tapi kaki gue mainnya nggak bisa barbar ya, kaki gue masih sakit soalnya. Gue takut cedera lagi.
Oh, the trips, they still can't clear it. It's another kill for Stacks. They just keep running in.
Rata sama tripwire jing.
Is wait and zoom in on the crosshairs.
Kenapa
3
itu
kills for
guys?
the IGL. And like you said, Carpe, he did everything he could to set up his teammates for a weaker site. But the traps were too much. And they will fall, giving DRX a 3-0 lead. A flawless with upgrades here on the bonus.
Yeah, and even an orb grabbed at the end by Stacks after that 3K puts him 2 away from the secrets. Really nice stuff here by him and Foxy. Foxy's utility playing the pivotal role to set Stacks and himself up to just smother that attempted execute. Absolutely brilliant. I like what T1 tries. It's just, again, these little mistakes that if you don't account for a piece of utility or utility's off.
Pengennya sih pengen datang guys kok. Champion guys kalau ada rezeki lebih. Cuma masalahnya kalau beli tiketnya sekarang ya kan. Kalau beli tiketnya sekarang deg-degan bro. Amit. Bukannya pesimis ya, amit. Paperrex gak masuk. Sedih gue di Korea cok. Gue datang ke Korea tapi Paperrex gak masuk misalnya. Amit guys ya.
That's part of the game.
And at a certain point, surely they
Itu nggak ada yang tahu soalnya guys. Ya nggak sih?
DRX's side, I mean, that's one util traded as well. We'll see how DRX adapts if that ever comes through. Meanwhile, for now, it's a fast rush into ramps.
Champion kan di Seoul guys, di Seoul di Korea bro.
Now dashing in for a pinch from mid, but the backup cut off by Mako.
Gue subscriber baru bang, gue main Valorant sering guys.
Stranded on the side of A. Isa gets taken out by the Trailblazer. And now everyone stuck in
Shanghai
mid
Hajang,
T1.
Bang
3
Cios, karen lu
members, a
full
stinger,
cam
a
bang.
sheriff,
Gue
and a
bukan
classic.
dari Shanghai anjing.
Trying to walk into B site. Cloudburst, that's all they've got to try to sneak in, trying to draw the attention away. And only Carpe remains. Only one kill for T1. DRX up 4-0.
Udah pasti masuk nggak sih?
Defender side is going. If you're DRX.
I mean, they only have 2 deaths total on their team 4 rounds in.
It's pretty good.
Shanghai bukan gua, cok.
T1,
3 players, no kills.
Yeah, they haven't even sniffed an operator, by the way. Buzz picks up 1. So that poll is starting to look good for DRX fans.
Susah ini strong banget defense-nya. Iya bro. Yang lolos champion 2 tim gak bang? Champion itu berapa tim ya? 2 tim ya? Champion itu kayaknya 3 deh guys. 3 deh. Tiap sekarang 3. Berarti 12. Kayak 3 deh. Gak mungkin 2 cok. Kalau 2 sedih banget. Main game santai kayak Stardy udah tamat guys. Gue dari masa depan bang. Yang menang T1 11-13 anjay.
This is what we saw in Breeze, though.
Yeah, same round, in fact.
Yeah.
So after that 4-0, we'll see DRX this time. Can they keep with the momentum all the way?
Masa sih? Bukan kebaca guys, emang susah masuk site-nya bro. Main mid kagak kelar. Main site ada Cypher, anjing susah banget guys. Nah ini Anya masuk nih.
Otherwise, they're gonna find themselves in a lot of trouble to fight back.
Lo ngelanjutin game RPG masa depan itu yang susah tuh doang, sampai lupa. RPG masa depan. Apa itu?
camera outside of the door.
Yang mobil juga belum tamat guys, Pacific Drive gua. Banyak yang belum tamat game guys.
A little bit deeper this time as well for Foxy. So this is going to be a little bit tricky for T1 to navigate. The info game going to be very, very important.
Dashing, he actually tags him through the cloud burst as well, and DRX is all there. Mako for the crossfire. The camp never spotted. Absolute hard read on this execute from T1. It's a common one for the double duelist, but DRX are well set up for it. And now just the two controllers from
Beach
T1.
Club aja, Beach Club apa Beach Club? Oh iya, Beach Club simulator ya. Malas grindingnya gue cuy anjing.
Send a paranoia, they'll do whatever they can.
Terus viewersnya udah mulai, viewersnya nggak gitu rame karena mungkin simulatornya biasa aja guys. Terus nggak trending simulatornya.
25 HP.
Dragon Dogma sih kayaknya kagak main guys, mahal gamenya Jo, 2 juta, 1 juta.
I mean, Mako is just peeking up and down non-stop, switching ropes, keeping Excured at bay, and then waiting for the peek out from Stacks. It's a perfect hold by the veterans on DRX as they go up 5-0.
Yeah, and Mako just so good on this
kuat banget coy mereka coy.
For so many years. And he's just showing you why. I mean, he's so tricky. He's so smart. He never seems to over-aggress. He's always holding good angles, using that rope to perfection.
Tabrak mampus.
The last kill for Stacks, but that's just Mako in a nutshell, man. I mean, the reaction there.
Skor berapa bang? 13-9.
Right things at the right time. He's 8-0 as well. Still only 2 deaths for DRX.
I mean, Buzz is 5-0.
Mindset lepas 7 nih bang, gue nggak tahu sih guys. Susah soalnya bro, mereka punya Survivor.
So yet another tool to stop the aggression, and Mako's just ready for it. The double duelists can't find their footing. This time a staggered entry.
Gila bro.
First off,
ini takernya begini gimana masuknya guys anjing.
And every lane
ntar defense-nya gimana ini?
T1. Every round they try to take space and DRX is just ready to greet them.
Oh, open sewer juga belum itu. Grinding itu grinding juga soalnya.
Gets the attention now. That's a great kill for Rossi.
Okay, continues to run and gun. Upgrades to a Phantom. 1v3. Not impossible, but showstopper Seeker. I mean, considering the round lead, DRX wouldn't be too afraid to use that if it comes to it.
Di B ada, di A-nya Cypher lagi.
Got all the information in the world here. Stacks even going to double check mid to make sure that Rossi is not there anymore. Flashback.
Nggak reload bro, nggak reload bro, 10 peluru doang yakin bro.
he's taking a break. Foxy 9 left to his own devices, but
I mean, you know that the troops are here. Absolutely. So Rossi just trying to clear this out. Actually doesn't quite clear it in time. He'll just get picked off.
Kok nggak ditembak ya bro? Itu kan udah dekat gitu kan kelihatan ya guys.
Yeah, and even though you lose a couple players there as DRX, he did all the right things. I mean, Mako doing a great job baiting again for his teammates.
Anjing 11-1 Mako. Mako 11-1 cok.
Rossi individually make a couple big kills with that stinger, but yeah, that second one right there, so fast, so expected is Mako. But, well, a couple more deaths for DRX.
Yeah, just a few more.
6-0 lagi bro.
Mako
Sekarang
finally
suaranya kecil bang.
11-5. Oh, woe is him. It's going to be a trap play with the paranoia. Not going to find a kill though, so the showstopper will have to back out. This time encounter showstopper trying to push through. They know that he has to back out, but the Seekers will keep them at bay. They're still pushing through, and Stacks will peek out with it. He gets 2, and the entry just cannot happen for T1.
Nggak ada semok dia, si Spirit nggak nyemok bro, telat
I think maybe Izu getting a little greedy with his counter rocket. He's not able to find any value. The Seekers there setting up Stacks nicely for that first kill. The second one was just
dikasih poin kan nih bro.
Insanely accurate. Spirit goes deep. Back into his spawn he goes. And now you're trying to shift over to the A site. Foxy 9 has been rather good, keeping himself very difficult to move from this area. Saya with an op.
Yeah, just not giving them a single angle. Another jump peek here from Mako. Just teasing.
Ini saya player masih 0 guys, skillnya guys. Anjing saya player masih 0 bro.
They've been spotted. Can they even get a kill as DRX has no intention of showing themselves around this site. This time if the trip gets cleared as well, Mako's ready for it. Just to pounce onto him. So T1's creeping up. They think that it's only going to be Foxy 9 waiting. They're trying to push him out of his comfort spot. But there's a poison cloud. They'll get Foxy 9. The trips are down, but Mako is here. unbeknownst to the entire squad of T1, and he sprays down for the double. Just the op in hand of Saya player. Can he get out of the round alive with this one? Bit of a spam. He dodges the bullets. He's running away. They're on the chase. Mako, he senses it. He wants to kill the Cloudburst. He knows it's close. But Saya should be safe. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Oh, safe bro.
Oh.
Anjir, mereka baru kill berapa, Cok? Izu belum nge-kill. Saya player belum nge-kill. Astaga, bro. Dua duelis begini, bro. Sedih banget dah, guys.
They just have not been able to, land on their feet at all within a sight.
Yeah, no, it's been incredible the way that DRX is able to read them, able to use their own utility.
Dia lagi ulang tahun, mereka
so well. Stacks is always playing great. He's calling a good game. Certainly, right now, he is
ayo bang,
on point.
Bang, saya player dapat satu dong.
And a big part of this is Mako. He's reading these situations so well, playing individually so great, setting up teammates at times to help him if things get a little too spicy.
It's just cutting the audio, creeping in with the paranoia, but the counter paranoia is there. Is it enough to allow Stacks to get the kills? The Seekers come out and they line up behind their own cabbages. Stacks will buy enough time for the teammates to arrive. 3v2, but it's still the best shot that T1 has ever had this map. Saya player, too many angles for him to cover. The smoke comes back up from Excurit. Only a stinger in hand there. Trying to recover a weapon. Vandal now recovered. Planting, the paint shells come out. They should be landing. Excurit takes a big chunk down to 50 HP. Now, just going to back out.
Waduh, susah banget, nggak ada flank juga kan. Bisa jaga flank bro, nggak ada trap.
Excurit is low. Side player would like nothing more than to get an early peek. He wants to get one, at least one, dwindle it down to a fair 2v2. But the timing's not in his favor as DRX, they slow creep into the site. He's going to be looking up into heaven. He gets one, but Foxy9 already in the site. There's the cyber cage.
Nice!
The Saya player's actually going to get the kill onto Foxy9 somehow.
Nice!
As we see the dash forward from Saya, saves the round and finally puts T1 on the board.
And all it takes is that op in Saya's hand on that post plant to make it really tricky.
Ini adalah satu angka menuju ke 75 ya guys ya. Anjay.
You can see that as soon as it's even in their favor with the 2v3, they don't want to move into heaven. They don't want to push through the alley door because they know that any one of those, that's just insane.
What?
That's just not even fair.
I was wondering how it happened because he was stuck in the cyber cage.
Mana bisa gitu, Jing?
Well,
Different.
now one away to try to regain some control is Izu.
Mati lagi,
Still
Izu
not
lompat
regaining that
mati.
confidence, the stability just yet. And Saya will fall to a zoom once again in the pit as well. I mean, T1, they're trying to force their way in, but as you said, DRX, not just Mako, the entire team an immovable object for the time being as they are just getting pounced upon by Buzz.
Oh, Buzz.
This is... It's a rough game for T1. I mean, they make the switch from the Astra to the Omen, and seemingly they want to just push the aggression even further by capitalizing on the double duelists, things like the paranoia, the extra mobility from the Omen. But it started to make them really tunnel into only one thing at the beginning of the round, losing all control of the map.
And there's a ton of time left on the clock for this save. So the real question is DRX, do you send players to go for this? Absolutely, you can send Foxy9 and Bane. Plenty of money.
Yeah, you got to get that from the shadows, man.
Yeah,
with the 4,300
That's
credits.
right. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you're gonna send the two guys with a lot of credits, you might as well get the Omen Ultimate for sure. Bane just having the time of his life right now, holding that angle. Buzz looking like he's in the middle of a 1v5 clutch on the camera there.
Mereka tuh setup W, tapi kayak gagal mulu guys, kena flash, kena counter.
Build towards the showstopper. They got time to do anything and everything they want.
Twatch.
We'll just tuck away. Spend this time
10
to
seconds
regroup
left.
with his teammates.
A bit of time left. See if they're going to be able to get there. Back.
Oh boy.
Did you Buzz?
I mean, he's left the cubby because he knows that they're going to chase all the way through. And the round win goes over, but he's aware of it. The wide swing from Bane! It actually happens. Bane gets his ultimate. They take away all the weapons. And T1, another broken economy in round 10.
Just brilliant. I mean, the beginning of this round is just completely thwarted any attempt that T1 tried to make. Bait pushed up early towards the bottom of ramp, and then he's able to bait a bit for Buzz. Buzz uses that opportunity to bust out the shorty, take a player down. Yeah, T1 gonna go for their second timeout, their last one of this map. See if they can find something, get the score line a little bit more respectable, but still some laughs. Xcure's got a smile on his face. I mean, against DFM, it was all business for Xcure, but still having a good attitude. That Breeze map gave him a little bit of extra confidence to stay in this.
Well, Buzz trying to make sure he keeps up his focus. As for DRX, there is no option but to go to a map 3 if they want the victory tonight. T1, if they can recover up to a 4-8 scoreline, not all is lost.
Dapat 3 yo, dapat 3 yo.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is, you know, both teams seemingly looking good on their map.
Yo, 9-3 yo.
Or DRX, can they close it out this time? A much better start so far on this map than on Breeze after T1 rattled together a bunch of rounds in a row towards the second quarter of Breeze. But Rossi up hit, but Stinger's hero rifle going to be on Saya player this time. Izu going to try to take space with this Stinger. And it looks like another fast hit.
All right, he's pushed through. The angle is good against the toxic screens to clear out vents as well. That sets up Saya player all the way into heaven. From the shadows to create backup for DRX. But Foxy9, a great one-way to mask himself as he goes for 3. Xcure, unaware of where the shots are coming from. Another tagged as well up in heaven. And this Cypher setup, they just can't break through it. Rossi chasing down for the kill, but the Boombot will finish him off. And the backup has all arrived for DRX. 9-1 scoreline.
You're just
moment,
throwing everything you have in the playbook at DRX, and for the most part, DRX has no problems with it. Just looking so good on this map. Back to comfort here. Map that surely, that is dumb. That is just insane. What in the world is that, Foxy? I mean, Xcure TP'd right into his death, but those first two are bananas, and he gets 2 headshots out of that.
Izu nggak ada assist juga, bro. 0-10-0, guys.
Man, Izu also just needs to come online. 0-10-0 right now. No impact, no value in this map, too. Not something you want out of your second duelist, out of your star rookie. Another setup onto heaven, but DRX is just reading through it. Izu finally logs onto a kill. Can he find the second? He still gets shut down by Foxy9, but it's enough time bought. The site finally broken open. First time T1 will get a taste of the A site here. The pit goes up and Xcure is on the lurk. He's waiting for the wraparound. If Xcure can get these kills, T1 might be on for another round in the first half.
Expecting 2.
Oh, but he doesn't check it all! He's looking for a timing around ramp.
No!
Not taking into account at all sewers. And now, Carpe and Rossi both in the pit. They don't really have too much of an option. Carpe checking for screens on the wraparound. Not sure if he would have caught him. But meanwhile, they're going to refill the pit. The paint shells come out. There's the pop flash. Seems like he did see him as he's trying to delay the jump down, but now they're swarming on. They've all landed on the site. The tap onto the spike. They're trying to draw them out. Rossi in elbow. It's close range. He gets taken down. Carpe tries to find a timing before the pit goes down. And Buzz will finish it off, but will they have time?
Wik udah rugi 10
Nice!
Wik, thank you, guys!
C1 dibantai-bantai, sedih aku.
Gak apa-apa, jangan sedih, Wik. Kalau sedih kamu donate aja yang banyak ya.
Just a fraction of a second too late. Good attempt.
Nice.
It looked like they maybe had finally, you know, stopped DRX.
1-11-1 lumayan, guys.
Did not happen, in fact. It was just enough time with that Viper's pit. He's done. I mean,
Bisa 9-3, guys.
Unbelievably close.
9-3. Kita percaya pada T1.
You'd love to get this to 9-3 at least.
9-3 lalu comeback di
we finally started to find our footing. We started to find our shots. Izu continuing this early pressure.
Kalau ganteng banget, Bang. Makasih
another just
nih.
full on A hit. They're gonna
Dia nggak tahu
challenge
apa sih split
Oh my! Yet, though. They're actually gonna chase down tambahan the kill with the Trailblazer. All of them flooding in. So finally a bit of a
dia nggak tahu line up kayo gua sih di split, bro. Kalau dia tahu mah udah selesai, bro.
Seekers trying to chase through over by mid. Meanwhile, B7 getting swarmed. Rossi's still on the lurk. He's waiting to try to capitalize against Buzz, but they hear that the operator was in B main. There's Showstopper. It's gonna land onto a double as Xcure also drops down from Evan. Gives another kill, and Foxy9 has arrived down to a 1v1. aware of Rossi's position, it seems. The Poison Cloud. Does he go for a timing? He's going to try to get both of them. Goes for elevation. And Foxy9 brings home the 10th round win as we wrap up the first half.
Felt like Foxy knew exactly what Rossi was thinking there. In the back of that Poison Cloud, he was ready for him to jump up on those boxes. What a half for DRX.
Oh, man.
What a half. I mean, yeah, T1 just never seemed comfortable in any single round. It never felt like they were really kind of getting their game sense on, getting an awareness of the holds. Now, late into that half, they were starting to be able to break open that A-Heaven hold between Stax and Mako, but by that point, it was damage done. It was too late. You still got to go through. You know, Buzz is up, that showstopper, catching the one. You know, he saw a Saya player, and I think it was X-Curate that dropped down right next to him, right? Like, just the timing there, a little bit unfortunate for T1. However, that was a great sign. That was really cute.
Yeah, that was really
Ini
well
satu orang up, 4 orangnya under bang, emang iya guys. Kagak tadi guys.
Oh, we'll see. That
Lagi
duo.
nggak bisa masuk aja.
Hey yo, it's
T1, bro.
And we got some special guests
Siapa, bro?
in the audience. Welcome. Love to see you here for VCT Pacific.
Siapa itu, bro?
Got to do a little of the TikTok streams with her last year at Masters Tokyo. Super kind.
Love that we're doing that stuff too.
Yeah, she's great, man. She loves Valorant. Huge T1 fan.
TikToker,
as
TikTok
you
stream
tell.
dia.
Yeah, not going so good right now,
But they're winning 1-0 overall in the best of 3.
Exactly.
Get to watch a little bit more
Streamer
maybe for a
TikTok,
map
oh.
3.
Yeah, you're getting your money.
Why not?
Soalnya nggak kita di TikTok, anjay.
Well. DRX up 10-2 for T1. It has to start here, and I mean, Izu, they used to talk about him as kind of the crafty player, really using, you know, all of his game sense to bring home the victory. And for now, he's had to be that kind of bull that charges
Dia harus
forward.
menang pistol, guys. Kalau nggak menang pistol sih udah sih, guys. Ya udah.
Yeah. Look good on the Yoru, on Breeze, that's for sure. But here on Split, a very different story. DRX just so challenging to play against on these maps where they're comfortable.
Oh, dia dapat info 3A, Cok. Dapat info itu 3A, bro. Minta digas nih, minta digas pasti, guys.
Is he going to be changing direction? Util dump comes through right in towards the ropes is Buzz. No contact found, so instead DRX just going to backpedal. Maybe hope that that was enough to keep the rotations of T1 off balance. And from what we can see, it has.
Yeah, well, the Trailblazers.
Thank you, Raditya Putra. Terima kasih ya.
Well.
Kasih bang, Raditya Putra.
Carpe gonna have to back up. Calls for the toxic screen. The backup's running forward. Is it gonna arrive in time? Heaven will be filled. Mako, meanwhile, going to switch places with Saya player. T1 Carpe will be holding onto the site, but Saya player whips the shots. He's not able to get the kills, and that might be the call to rotate. Heaven now broken up. Stax just trying to make sure that he goes down to vents, trying to rotate over to B. It's going to be a quick backup from X-Curate. Flanks around. Paranoia at the ready. He just wants to lay them. He hears them running through. Paranoia, but it doesn't hit both. He gets one kill, but not the second. Stax jumping down. 3v2 for T1. Spike not planted yet. 15 seconds. This is a timing for them. Izu.
Nice!
Couple shots. Rossi. Nice and clean right off the top. And T1 will get a 3rd round win.
Well, just what the doctor ordered for T1. Good stuff here by Carpe.
Let's go.
Caught the elbow of a player. Sneaking around that corner, immediately eased out. Got the toxic screen up from Rossi. And Rossi finding some crispy shots there at the end. Carpe having a couple great shots of his own. That is nasty from Rossi. The follow-up there took a few, but job done. And good start for T1. It's a long road, though.
Nice.
Getting that map win.
Tapi Izu masih 1, guys ya.
Was it the
outlaw?
Bayang nggak sih bang? Coba dulu aja guys. Kita nggak ada yang tahu. Bro.
So really trying to punish the greedy buys that we often see on Split, where you're just trying to swarm the sites, make sure that everyone has a weapon to fight back. I mean, this is something. If it works out, could be a new paradigm as well that Buzz is bringing forward to VCT Pacific. He's trying to force up a singular outlaw on the attacking side.
Wild.
T1, they don't have a sentinel. They're trying to push out. The outlaw gets one, but now T1, they find the trade. They're well aware of the outlaw. That should change the positions they hold as well. Izu with a nice timing. peek out as well, and the spray down for 2. Zaya for a 3rd, and it's just going to be skirt with a bulldog. Can they get the Vandal as well? Should be able.
Itu si Outlaw-nya itu nge-damage banyak ya.
Kind of worked. It's sort of like
mahal karena si Outlaw-nya guys nge-damage banyak.
Now your purchase coming into this round is going to have to be a little bit lacking.
Now an op for Saya.
Yeah, no, I mean, to make matters worse, right? Round 3 op for Saya is scary as heck. Just unscoped at the wrong moment did Bane there. Kept that down. He might have been able to find Izu a little bit quicker, but damage done. He actually landed the shot. Now I see it. He was at 10 HP, so then the Classics can come in, do what they got to do. So not a bad idea from DRX. You do have to go down to a Spectre or Mako.
3 clear. Waiting for it. Finds him as he's thinking about moving out, so it has to be a dash out. Shot will not connect. But op now found by DRX. Ahead of the smoke for Mako. So we'll see. Trailblazer trying to clear mid. Meanwhile, Foxy9 still holding onto sewers. The trips to check if there's a push out of A main. Obscure it for now, all alone on the site on B. This Poison Cloud, they could be fanning out at any moment's notice. The paranoia is going to be a quick fill from Rossi, but Buzz is 1 step ahead of him. Picks up 1 kill. Saya, can he go for a peek out? Buzz still clears out the site though, and Saya player has to just run out to safety. Izu finding 1 corner around the snake bite. Smoke clears, and now everybody right around B heaven for T1. But there's still the lurk from Foxy9. You still got stacks over by B main as well. So many angles to clear. Izu trying to find 1. He finds both. They are aware of 2 people's position. He knows it's a crossfire. He goes for 1, but no trade from his teammates as he gets taken out by Bane. Now the smoke perfect to cover up Carpe as he's trying to peek out. He gets stuck, and he realizes exactly what's going on. 2 members on the site, 2v2, still aware of the potential flank and the lurk around. Saya, he sees Foxy9, but the spy cam finds him. Time not on his side. Trying to go for the kill. He wants to save the operator. He wants to get it. Can he dash out in time? Is he safe? Barely right at the edge.
Yeah. Good round here for DRX. A phenomenal entry by Buzz. Like you said, bypassing some of that utility from T1. Able to find 2 huge kills to break that side open.
Bisa sebenarnya sih guys, kalau misalnya mainnya rapi banget defense-nya. Tapi susah karena nggak ada sentinel bro, itu dia.
From DRX being really patient, some of these jitter peaks. Well, okay, Buzz, sure.
Yeah, jeez.
Why not?
I mean, that's just heads up, right? Expecting something like that to happen. Your crosshair and your free fire are trained onto that corner.
It's just disgusting, man. Incredible stuff, and as usual,
Buzz is
so good at entries. Such a powerful force for DRX for so many years. Pressure on him again as that op still in hand. Have to be a little bit careful of it this time. Our DRX, they got away with one, frankly. In that last round with Saya just a little bit off of Mako, so orb going to be gathered. Now, begin the march towards mid. Smoke has to come out to cover. DRX.
Nice!
Stationed on A, takes out the lurk from Foxy9. They've already cleared B main. They got Seekers online. They
dapat banyak infonya tuh.
They find the main force at Ramen and T1. For what it feels like the first time in this entire split, they have a very good grasp of DRX's positions. But the weaponry isn't going to be good enough. 2 stingers for Rossi and Carpe. Carpe waiting in the smoke. Should be dissipating soon, and there's the pop flash, but Buzz is slightly out of it. The Seekers to keep them at B.
Nice.
Realize that they're going to be stuck here at B main. 1 Seeker still trying to go towards mid, so they're well aware of the lurk as well. Mako has to back off for the time being. Only 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds
left. Very, very close shots. This is great anticipation here by Carpe, recognizing that the flash last time went deep. This time decided to get ahead of it by putting himself into that smoke, and this gives Saya player the ability to lure.
No way, Saya. That's a very risky, greedy position to be taking. He's still going to try to peek out for another. I mean, this is very close range. There's 1 right click. He tries to go for another operator. He's going to drop the operator, give it over to DRX. Maybe. I mean, T1 on the pinch. They don't want this to go for free, but it's not like they have a lot of creds. They will just be waiting. Bane securing free operator upgrade for Buzz.
Yeah, and more importantly, you keep it out of the hands. I mean, side player has the Blade Storm, yes, but you don't want him to just keep that power weapon that he's been oh so good with throughout the years. Definitely love to have it over towards Buzz. Buzz is a showstopper though, so
agak berat sih guys sebenarnya guys.
DRX is really considering
Mereka
what
keuangannya
they
nggak
want to
bagus,
do
bro.
with this buy. They just don't have enough creds to do anything else except go for classics, half armor for Bane. Maybe saving that showstopper for another day, see if Buzz can do some damage. They did something out of the ordinary there. Gives him the... Oh, he missed
Goes
it!
right over Carpe's head. Now the up drop as well, and the one hope that DRX had in this round, it might just give an opening for T1 to claw back. Two members still pressuring, but they will not greed for more space. They understand that they have secured this position. Ramp being taken over by Bane. The next duelist himself, can he get the up kill? He gets one. He's quick with it, but he shows us back. Mako there for the trade, and T1, what seemed like an absolutely unlosable round, starts slipping away from their grasp.
I mean, it's just imagine the world where Buzz hits that showstopper. It could be a completely different round, but he missed it, and therefore he got punished. Outlaw and the Blade Storm still there for Saya, only a judge for Rossi, so going to have to concede over the plant most likely as T1. Mako, though, only on 24 health. Not like he's going to be able to get the ults here. Stack's still away from the Seekers.
Hoping.
Look at him. He's going proactive.
And just looking for one extra kill as they have no idea where they are, and Mako finds it. Saya tries to turn the corner close, and now Rossi, just the judge, has to make noise if he wants to upgrade a weapon. Finds one close, but he knows that Mako's weak. He doesn't get the kill with the judge. Are you kidding me? The one time that that weapon would fail you.
Well,
I need this.
I mean, 26 was more than enough, I guess, for Mako there. I mean, that round is heartbreaking for T1. You do some good things at the beginning, but DRX just reading some of these pushes from Carpe really well. Kind of expecting him to be aggressive. I'm not sure if they saw a pixel out of place for Buzz to decide to pop the showstopper, but regardless,
Dia ngambil vandal aja suara guys,
just
ketahuan.
ready again for the repeak. Now the blades in hand, Shorty in the back pocket. Izu with a rocket now of his own. Mako, Viper's Pit.
Aneh banget cuma 20, Jing.
Shenanigans with that, we'll have to wait and see, but DRX playing very, very cautious, worried about some kind of aggressive push with those blades. There's that judge as well for Rossi, man. That's
Again, right? I mean, just don't have the creds, just hoping that they come into your arms. But this is the thing, DRX knows that not only the tendencies of T1 to try to get aggressive for space, to try to play for contact, but also the double duelist. I mean, no Sentinel, they have to push out to get information. Saya player has been activating that tailwind time and time again, multiple rounds in a row with no value. And now stuck once again in ramp. T1, how do they reclaim control of the map? They do have
itu kenal guys, itu
garage.
nggak makanya menurut gua.
Carpe sitting
Tapi
there
nggak mati,
solid.
aneh banget.
Now the judge down in vents. Buzz, are you aware of it? There's the drop, and once again the judge fails Rossi. No justice will be served tonight. The Saya player fights for his lives, but it's too many members. Bane clears out ramp. 3v3 for DRX to try to take us to the deciding map of Bind. Spike will get planted, ramp control, main control in favor of DRX.
Spike planted.
Izu gets through, finds one, not able to turn around against Bane on that paranoia. Here's the from the shadows. Are you aware? Is he gonna finish that TP? He does! And Carpe recognizes it right away. There's a mural theft. Carpe, does he have an idea? They know where the cyber cage came from. He's trying to wait to try to bait Foxy9 for a peek. Still quite a bit of time on that spike. Carpe just waiting for the peek out. Looks like he's gonna go for the half. And Foxy9, he's gonna rush forward. He doesn't want the half to be done. He jumps, he's waiting to see. He hears that he's not sticking it. He hears the shot still coming through, and he's still jiggling, and he gets the kill through the wall. Foxy9 brings DRX across the finish line and takes us to yet another map 3 tonight here at VCT Pacific.
Yeah, I love the patience there at the end from Foxy9, but overall, DRX so well drilled on some of these maps. We saw it with Sunset earlier, now we're seeing it with Split as well, that some of these more stock standard maps seem to suit them. However, we have Vine coming up next.
It's going to be an absolute banger. Let's go to the analysts to break down Split before we head over to map 3.
Vine bro. Vine bro, gimana bro?
DRX bundle. I wish I could read that sign.
I couldn't see it. The camera was in the one.
Anjir, cepet banget Paperrex.
The one guy who speaks Korean at our desk. DRX
Ngeditnya nih,
in a
ngedit
very
apa ini bro
convincing
Paperrex
win
bro?
on Split bring us to map 3.
This one, one word.
What's the word?
Mako.
True.
Mako.
He just Mako'd all over him. That was just an insane performance. Vintage, a perfect year, nicely aged.
Yeah.
Just, that was disgusting.
Notes of headshots and...
Yes. Yes, that was...
Tapi kayak ini full gameplay, ini nggak diedit bro. Tahu lah, guys, biar. Buset, anjing. Suaranya mau ngajak berantem anjing. Highlight doang, tapi cepet banget bro. Nggak ada edit sama sekali bro. Rekam posting bilangnya. Ini nggak, tau gue cuman di skip gitu deh biar cepet bro.
And now texture. I mean, it's a 2v3. No real point of waiting for back. He's got a good number, but he's been checked out through that with the trip. He's trying to have a bit of a skirmish.
Nanti cepetin gitu guys. Cut aja cepet sih.
We've seen a lot of teams adjusting to this. It's going to be a high low from Keren as well, off of all the util masking the sound. And that is Rubble taken over. No weapons dropped on the side of Genji, just said upgrade.
Keren pengen gak main dah.
We've seen him lurk through.
Tunggu voicecom baru lama guys. Ngeditnya panjang bro kalau voicecom bro ya. Gak mungkin cepet bro. Grounded katanya mau update ntar guys ya. Guys, Grounded udah mau update guys ya. Main Grounded lagi nggak sih guys? Grounded. Apa lagi nih ini? Dikejar sama Neon anjing. Dikejar sama Neonnya guys. Revorsi malas bro. Apa guys? Nunggu apa nih? Ini nunggunya sekitar 5 menitan lah, 5-10 menit guys ganti map. Gila Mako 300 cok, Izu langsung Escuret juga turu banget sih. 80 doang cok ACS-nya. Personal gitu sama Revorsi bang. Butuh diurut sumpah tuh Escuret bang. Gua rasa nggak harus nggak yang keurut banget nggak sih bro? Emang lagi nggak enak aja tangannya bro. Ya nggak sih guys. Ya nggak sih guys. Kayaknya itu pakai itu ke fisioterapi juga bisa guys. Fisioterapi tuh kayak yang diginiin nih tangannya ntar. Gitu-gituin guys. Tukang urut beda guys. Tangannya kaku banget, Jing. Tangannya kaku banget, anjing. Tangannya kaku banget. Bang Rio imut bang, makasih guys. Ini kecil banget cok, gue kemarin sempat 80.000, berarti hebat bro. Gue pikir aja 80.000. Ini 150.000 itu gimana bro? Ini nge-cheat kah 150.000 jing? Anjing, gak jelas bangsat. Kalau Corsair rendah nggak cocok sama Sense bang. Lah gua udah cocoknya segini guys. Nggak bisa ganti-ganti terus juga cok. Gue udah cocok Sense segini guys.
Picks, I would say here for the side of DRX, but this is a map that C1 in.
Gue udah coba-coba ganti lebih nggak cocok sense tinggi malah. Nggak bisa nembak.
Meanwhile for T1 it's the exact composition they used against Paperrex.
Kan ada plus minus guys. Lu main sense rendah emang bisa nge-flick kencang gitu. Kan lebih minus lebih capek. Tapi kalau lu sense tinggi mungkin flick shotnya lebih jago. Tapi sense rendah itu bisa lebih apa sih bilangnya? Lu cocok, lu lebih apa sih? Lebih konsisten gitu nembaknya karena sense lu rendah gitu. Gak banyak gerak-gerak tangannya. Oh bang itu M-lap. Gameplaynya sih sama kayak Paperrex tadi ya guys ya.
Well, today the day for T1 to finally defeat DRX. We're gonna go into these Korean powerhouses.
Apakah sama guys? Engine-nya sih sama kayak Paperrex tadi ya guys ya.
Thank you very much. And to be honest, if I was DRX and I also lost a semifinal map of Bind to a dizzied Keren, I would also shy away from Gecko as it seems ineffective. That surely lives in the nightmares of Stacks as he realizes that, you know, the utility was there, but they couldn't bring home the win with the one time that they were able to try the Gecko. So now, just going with the trustworthy KO. Here. Of course, raises on both sides.
I like this from DRX.
Kayo juga pakai Kayo. Penasaran gue pakai Kayo. Emang Kayo enak ya sini.
Against T1.
Gua doang yang bisa pakai Kayo, bro.
The KO could be really good against this comp because you could shut it down.
Absolutely.
With the ult or even with the 0 point, kind of buy yourself a little bit of extra time and space, make it more uncomfortable. On this defender side, Foxy9.
Anjir, dapat headshot.
Right before all the utility comes up, Buzz just swings out. Finds one on a timing. Now with Carpe down, I mean, such a crucial part, especially for the pistol, trying to utilize the fact that you can still have all 5 members fighting while the spike is planting. T1 not going to be able to take advantage of that, and now they've slowed down. Still a minute on the clock, but they will have to
chamber cuman di Lotus doang, guys.
Of the map. They find the cam, they'll get the orb, and meanwhile, we see Izu trying to pressure B site once again. See if he can draw out a little bit more as all the smokes from Bane's Brimstone have been used up.
I feel like X-Curate taking a page out of his brother's book here, using that high tide to sneak himself into a position to look for some frags potentially, but they're going to re-aggress on the showers area.
Yeah, DRX, they want to clear it out. They know that time is running low, and there's a wide swing from Frosty. Draws out all the crosshairs. Saya will stabilize with another kill, but are they aware that Buzz is holding close? Saya, this side has not been cleared just yet. He tries jumping, doesn't find it, and he goes for the jiggle, and Buzz finds the kill. Now, spike down in showers. Bane catching his spirit from behind. It's just down to Izu, and he does not have enough time to go across for the spike. He realizes this. He's been spotted. He has to go for a pop flash, trying to eliminate everyone, but it's eventually going to pop in his face, of course. Since that change, if it runs out of the timer, it will pop. That fake doesn't last for the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's just a little unfortunate for Izu to be stuck in that position with such little time left there. T1
pistolnya agak turun nih guys, T1 dari tadi guys.
DRX into thinking they had gone to the other side, but not able to sell that fake at all. And Bane, as he was one of the ones on the other side of the map, coming through at the perfect time to catch X-Spirit in the back. A little bit whiffy there from Foxy9, but Buzz at the ready next to this box, found a great position, knowing that maybe Lance would have a player, put himself behind that box. Really smart heads up stuff. The disease is going to catch Buzz, and he's going to grab the orb and back away. But man, that's a little scary if you're Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, he uses full fate, right? The Brimstone Smoke, the cover from Bane. I believe both of them may be getting tagged as well, but they will just trust
Paperrex janji berapa bang? 21, 21, 21.
From T1. So T1, back to another default. Just trying to condition them on the pressure.
Pakarnya meta reverse sweep, nggak ada reverse sweep dari deh. Paperrex kan 1 dulu guys. 1 sama, 2-1. Nggak ada reverse sweep itu namanya. Reverse sweep itu kalau ketinggalan duluan bro.
Because short is covered with the cam, with the tripwire. A lot of utility to cover that entry point.
And Bane already sneaking over towards A as well. So the full forces, they're going to catch a glimpse, get a reveal. It's a TP out there, Rossi.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean,
Very
otherwise
smart.
you were dead for sure, as you've been tagged right in the middle of nowhere. And that is going to allow the rest of T1 to try to still creep into Lambs, but still not the best position as he don't have full control of showers. They're going to try to get through. Wingman going to get taken out as it's going for the plant. So Carpe picks the spike back up. Dizzy there to buy time, but he gets taken out immediately. Foxy9 gets backed out by the snake bite. Cascade not exactly getting too much value as they're just trying to get a reaction. So has pushed them close.
TP here maybe, just barely enough time, but no, they're going to go for the plane again.
But there's the Mosh just trying to push them out, but Mako still sprays down for 2, and the spike plant has been disrupted. Izu trying to stick for it one more time, and Bane will try to swing around. Spike does go down, but Izu, can he hold on to this area? Aside continues to pressure, he gets another kill with the Sheriff over by Showers. 2v2, and Izu has wrapped all the way around. Are they aware? They're not quite sure. Bane, he still gets the kill. Half done, but now Saya. They realize enough time has passed, and they know that it has to be a flank.
Woo! That's as close as it gets, though. DRX taking a ton of damage.
Emang satu Paperrex kalah ya?
In the HP.
Oh iya, lupa.
By DRX, so honestly, that's a pretty good round there for T1. Using the smoke from Foxy9, that cyber
lupa guys, gue lupa. Apa pertamanya mungkin Icebox, lupa guys.
Nice job to push that fragment. Go for another kill there.
Maaf guys.
This fragment as well, so nice little set play by them. And Mako, steady as ever. But now you're starting to see that this might be pretty tricky for DRX. Not looking nearly as clean, certainly as you would like. And you know, the good patience there from T1 really paying off. Going for the check again. Got the orb, so Buzz, that's going to give him the showstopper.
Yeah, fires back right on the tracers. Carpe perhaps pushing his luck a little bit too much on the spam.
Susah banget masuknya.
But the thing is, T1, I mean, I get where Carpe's coming from. You keep giving this orb for free, it's not good. You're trying to pressure, trying to make sure DRX can't go for it.
Exactly.
But this time he pays for
Susah
it with
banget
his
masuknya
life,
dah,
so no Gecko once again.
Ya.
Now trying to creep through. Mako's ready for it with the Ghost as well. A huge upgrade for DRX.
Oh, that's brutal now. Now you've got a lot more options to play with for the side of DRX. There you go, Mako grabbing that Phantom. Still have the Harbor utility to set yourself up for this hit. Flashes as well.
Yeah, the fragment just going to keep them at bay. They cannot drop into the site just yet. That high tide will be running out of time. Reposition around the cascade. So Snacks is ready for it. Buzz just trying to hold on to main. There's the showstopper. He finds him close, and it's going to be Snacks and Buzz, the duo. That cleans up the kills, all down to Saya player. One Vandal left. He won't get to carry it over, and it's a flawless on the bonus for DRX.
Oh boy. Now you're starting to get a bit worried for T1. 3 bonuses lost for them so far today. And well, I mean, you can't be losing these battles like that. Losing Carpe off the rip, giving Buzz the showstopper, seeing the bullet tracers, and Buzz able to track down the head. Rossi losing that lurk is absolutely devastating. Great patience by Buzz, not to send that showstopper immediately. in towards the octagon. Instead, he holds it just long enough to catch Xcurit, trying to push out of his high tide.
Panas lagi basnya, bro.
And that's just
Bas anjing.
stellar discipline from DRX, winning a couple key battles as well. Now you're back onto an eco from T1, a couple stingers and some sheriffs. Stingers have been pretty good for Rossi though today, I will say that.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make that magic happen again. He used the snake bite to push away Garden, but that slows him down as well. The high tide not exactly covering all of elbow. T1 has to be aware of this if they want to launch an exact set play onto the site. They're going to swarm it with all of the utility. There's a guiding light, there's the Dizzy, but the molly lands right in front and they just cannot move forward. They've been slowed down. They're all getting burned at the feet, and Buzz enters for another double kill. Still, Carpe alive, picks up a Vandal. Wingman will get the plant. Mosh online. The IGL of T1. There's never been a better time for Clutch to bring them back onto the stage to keep their morale up. Both members of DRX full health, full armor. One snake bite and a cyber cage. Could it be enough utility?
We're going to try to cut it off with both smokes, force out the Mosh.
So now they know that he's out in main. Location identified, snakebite to keep him at bay. Carpe just going to give him the half. He's trying to go for a swing, but they're still sticking it. He thinks it's just going to be a fake off of the snakebite and the cyber cage. Not going to find the shot, still gets taken out at the end. And a 4-0 lead for DRX.
Bangkok, apa tuh Bangkok?
Body blocked by his own team there.
He did.
Yeah, I thought so.
I believe so.
I think that's about the only thing I could think of that would have stopped him there. That's, yeah, that might be another round 4 timeout for T1. It's just, I mean, great timing there from Buzz to wait until they're fully committed to the site to fly around the elbow, come in and pick up 2 big kills. Diligence, patience pays off for DRX again. I think Foxy, you know, with the Cypher, Unbree's not so good in some ways, but Split was phenomenal. And this map here already looking like he's right back into a comfortable role as that Sentinel. Now that Bane's come onto the team, switching over, doing a nice job. So far these timeouts have been okay-ish, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, that's necessary. He started all 3 maps down 4-0. And, I mean, in the previous maps, they went all the way up to 6 and 7, respectively, for DRX. So T1, this time, the timeout has to find its value. They have to stop the bleeding now. Otherwise, sure, they won with a victory on Breeze, but not another place they want to return to.
Trying to set those trap wires up right outside of that poison cloud.
Tai banget, saya paling tai ya. Kalau mau double susah banget
on that box to set up the one-way, but that's going to be a tricky one to get through if you want to try short A. Mako's so sturdy. Going to be the one to lock down at A angle against the Dizzy. Izu gets caught by the 0 point. Mako does win that battle.
Yeah, it clears out Showers as well. Meanwhile, I mean, T1, they're trying to pressure out across the entire map. They pressure Hookah, they pressure A short, and then try to take over Showers as they've drawn away the attention. But like you said, Mako, he trusts Foxy9 Cypher setups, regains control of Showers. And now the Gecko down once again. Carpe getting caught out on these solo missions several rounds in a row.
And that's brutal because the Gecko is such a big piece of getting these executes. Obviously the Wingman to get the plant down as well, but the Dizzies in particular, the Moshes to give you a little bit of extra breathing room with space clearage. In fact, it's going to be actually the Bane smoke. It's going to be used to set up that one-way. Mako's just too good.
Yeah, just keeping a timer as well as he's jiggling back and forth. Showers now held on. And T1, they're just going for a send. They will have to try to fake things out if they can draw out some of the utility. But look at the minimap Buzz blast back and forth for the flank. They want to keep T1 trapped. They want to give him an opportunity to try to take the TP. And T1's not going to get it as Buzz has arrived. They have to push the site. They have to clear out all the members of DRX. But Bane finds one. Mako a second, a third in the round, and Bane with another as well. Yet another flawless here for DRX.
And they're coming at you from every angle there at the end. The kind of split aggression that you pointed out, Will, just works against T1 here because they lose some big opening duels. And And that gives DRX the space they need to just push every angle of the map. I mean, from all 4 corners of A, DRX is swarming at you. There is not much to be done for T1 in this situation. Everybody's so patient. Stacks doing a great job keeping everybody in the right places. It helps when you have Mako on your team. Guy is absolutely cracked out of his mind. Now he has a Viper's Pit.
Yeah, what an anchor. Looked a little shaky during kickoff compared to his usual self, but now right back in form. And hopes, I mean, look at the B site. This time they can trust Foxy9 to just hold on to it on his own, even set up for a retake with that cam. And the KO already arriving. Stacks here to help his teammates. They'll have to give up lamps, but not the most crucial of areas. But the flash is good!
Nice!
And it's going to be the transfer over with the Stinger. Saya good for 2. But it's going to be reclaiming the backside. The Thrash, he lets it pass. He's pushing forward. Stacks, he finds one. Can he find the Gecko? He's good for a triple, a quad, and he's on for the ace. The IGL of DRX. Spike has been planted.
Kayak gua nggak sih main kayaknya guys, kayak gua main kayaknya ya.
Still ongoing, out in the open. Just a stinger for Excurit's Harbor. The 0 point will find him. Lamps secured. They know the objective. And Stacks checking for the box. Cyber Cage comes out. Stacks not wanting the ace, wants to secure the round, and even will give over the defuse to Foxy9.
Mirip kemarin gua guys, malam-malam guys, last game kayak gitu.
We were 5 rounds in, and that's pretty rare.
Ntar pas half round gua kasih lihat ya mirip gua atau enggak ya.
By round 4. And he finally gets it and Stacks the absolute
kasih lihat guys, mirip gua nggak? Coba lihat ntar lihat. Kayaknya nggak percaya, mirip gua
the smoke, and then he just sidesteps the Thrash and never sees him. And yeah, he got flashed even too by that one to set up Saya. But that kill right there, woo, that is nasty from Stacks. Just brilliant play from him. One of those classic multi-kill Stacks rounds. We're so used to seeing.
Sudah ketar
It's
ketir.
be another early double timeout, the earliest it's been. They don't want to let it get
Iwan
past 6.
sudah ketar ketir.
Second map.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is some Paperrex style timeout calling, that's for sure. But can they find the value off of it?
Hell, I'd be left scratching my head too if I were T1. Maybe now's the time to dial up one of those B executes where you kind of dissect the site with those smokes with the toxic screen and the high tide.
Kayaknya rating enggak deh guys, gua guys.
Some of that leapfrogging with the Gecko
kalah
utility.
Gimana Bang
the solo
Sio?
play.
Ya udah, nambah satu slownya di 3.
Excellent initiator
Itu
utility
buat
you
pasang
have.
trapnya. Oh.
Your advantage. The problem is DRX has so many ultimates. I mean, no command, the orbital strike, the neural theft, and the Viper's Pit. That makes it so tricky here. Yes, you have a Reckoning and some Seekers to clear some space, but are you even gonna, like, even if you get that, does it matter because of like the counter utility that DRX can have?
Well, and now DRX having a bit of a read off of the timeout, going for a fast clear of showers this time
Ini
around.
kan kayak kemarin sore ya Bang Leo. Iya.
The Cypher setups on B, the cam hidden right inside the entry point. The trips all across right before the spike plant zone. 0 point to pressure them away as well. I mean, DRX has full control of the map so far. Showers being given up just a bit as Buzz backs off, doesn't want to get caught unawares. All out on his lonesome.
Love this change from DRX with the Cypher utility. Now over onto B, expecting that this is going to be the point of pressure from T1. And this is really now going to be very tricky. And now Stacks is waiting with his null command for this execute. This is going to be really difficult for T1 to make work. They're sliding the rest of the players over. I suppose Stacks could just save it. Here comes the Reckoning.
Yeah, looks like they just want to hold on for the retake. They'll have to let the site go. Some people have been tagged, and Foxy9 is waiting for the trips to activate. Both of them get cleared. Seekers will identify them, and T1, they're going to try to push through, but the Cyber Cage isn't good enough. Oh, he expects the wide swing, but he's just going to land the shot. And now the rest of the members of DRX, they have to hold on, but it's 3 members pushing elbow, but the blast pack does wonders. T1 still answering back, 2-1 in numbers. It's going to be Excurit and Rossi, the new members, the global members here for the Korean squad of T1 up against Mako, the Rock of Korea, trying to tap the defuse. Pushes up, and Rossi just gonna peek right back in from the toxic screen. It's going to be the kill actually going over to Excurit.
As T1
Bayin
finally puts
gantiin
one on
si
the board.
flashback,
Yeah,
flashback.
so this does work for T1. The timeout comes through. DRX gives the round over. It's just Foxy just not expecting, well, he was expecting the wide swing, but that many players there, even if you gotten one,
Hari-hari
probably gonna be a quick
di-absen.
trade on the back of it. Buzz able to find two, but by that point, the rest of the site
RRQ
was
besok
taken.
sama Bang Winda guys, gas.
Really
Katanya
able
Bang
to
Winda
pop
gas
their
besok.
ults in comfort
This should do.
for DRX.
Now,
Foxy
goes here.
kind of covering his bases.
Masa lawan
A bit of
Paperrex
a
lagi
more
nih, tapi lawan
spread
Paperrex
play.
2-0 bro, ini 2-1 guys, masih mending bisa ngelawan
Moving
satu
back
map.
to holding down that A site. Buzz has another showstopper. Side player one away from it, but too late with that spray to catch anybody.
The orb control has been so good by DRX, so aggressive, really denying any of that from T1. And after a little bit of extra information on the B side, it's going to be the pit
Siap-siap
up.
dilemparin
Still
pertanyaan
got a
Bang,
tripwire,
yoi.
and it
Udah
seems
siap
like another
guys.
cyber cage on
Kalau madu itu
Showers.
kemarin Master,
So
ini
you
VCT
are
balik
protected
ke
from
region
the
masing-masing
flank
guys, ada
on
yang
the
Asia,
side.
Asia, Amerika,
Now
Amerika,
B side
Eropa,
already
Eropa.
filled up, like you
Tinggal
said,
lampu-lampu
all
ada di
ults
belakang
online
nih, di
now,
belakang green
including the
screen.
showstopper. DRX
Besok
have
kayaknya
their
Discord
pick
deh guys,
on
Discord,
how they
Discord
want to
nggak
defend
bareng
this
deh kayaknya
site.
kemungkinan.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a quick null command here from Stacks. There's a ton of utility.
Ya,
Try
Yukinya
to
nggak guna tuh,
barricade
Escurat lempar
this
begitu.
push from T1, so they've stalled it out enough. Foxy starting to slide over a bit towards spawn.
It's going to be the orbital strike that pushes them through, and then the showstopper to try to pinch, but Stacks still staying alive, gets a triple right up against Hookah. Just creeps out forward around all the chaos. The spike has been dropped. And now with only 30 seconds left, T1 choosing to go for the save.
I guess you don't need the ult if you're Stacks. You're just killing them anyway, so just go for it. I mean, just absolutely incredible. The way that they dump mollies to make sure that T1 can't get comfortable in this execute. So well thought out by DRX. And keeping Bane over there as well. Seemed to work a treat. No real threat there for DRX. Yeah, Buzz doesn't land the showstopper, but it causes T1 to take a moment of
Kurang
pause.
lebih sih begitu
Allow
guys.
Stacks to pick members off from behind tubes, so breaking crosshairs there probably as well. People are looking for where the heck Buzz went up in the air, but few ults invested that round. You use the Viper's Pit to force them over to B, right into the waiting arms of the rest of the players of DRX. Well thought out once again.
Banyak pikiran guys, lagi banyak pikiran kan mereka guys.
But they have the time to whoop off.
Recon Phantom adalah kunci ya guys ya.
Just absolute snappy. And like you said, the timing on these ults, just perfect to really secure that 7 round, a nice key mark to secure before trying to move on for some extra ones.
Orb again.
Yeah, banking towards another one, it seems, before the half ends.
What are they going to deal with this? I mean, use the Sky utility or something to try to keep Buzz a little uncomfortable, but I don't know if it's going to come in time.
It seems T1 a little bit afraid of any extra aggression across the map, so they really want to play these widespread defaults. But as you mentioned, it's something that we've been calling on this entire map. That B main control, it's never been in favor of
Susah ini
T1.
trap wire-nya enak banget itu guys.
So far.
And you've got the long-range utility to contest that space, and they just aren't seemingly comfortable to do so. The game plan seems to be more of a kind of execute-heavy style, and it's been pretty well handled.
Yeah, well, there is the Dizzy and the guiding light, but Izu can't get far away enough from the trap wire in time. Saya not covering his back either. Rossi now finally there for the trade, but it's still a 4v3 in favor of TRX. Carpe trying to fade out a little bit of a reaction. They recognize where Foxy 9's location is.
Susah udah plannya gimana plan anjing.
Backside filled up by Stacks and Bane. Even Buzz getting prepared to rotate over. Once they hear the spike plant, he's looking to approach. There's the Dizzy, but they're ready for it. It's going to be Foxy 9 Cyber Keys that keeps them held, allowing Stacks to get another double in this round. And Buzz will get the finisher. 8-1.
Masih bisa lolos lah, kalau kalah masih bisa, cuma harus menang 3 match terakhirnya.
Some of those open A plants have been attempted. DRX is using their smokes to cover themselves while they spray the wingman down. Make sure that it's even more difficult when they all just set up these crossfires around the edges. This time T1 tries to get ahead of it. I don't mind the idea, but the Dizzy is cleared too quickly. Once again, the Cypher utility worth its weight in gold for DRX. And they're trying to play off a quick top flash from the Dizzy, but it's taken care of, dealt with. The reaction's so strong for DRX. Seems like they are fully prepared for this T1 Gecko comp on Bind.
Yeah, I actually believe DRX might have been the team to
Berarti Paperrex
take it
ini
down
nanti
last
serem
year
juga nih
as
guys
well
lawannya
when
guys.
T1 started to
Paperrex
first
kalau ketemu
introduce it,
DRX.
got some maps with it, but now obviously a bit of a different tempo.
Masalah Paperrex nggak bakal ketemu DRX ya, lupa.
DRX this time just trying to hold on to
Kamera kamu
backside.
kebesaran,
It's
Bang.
going to
Maaf ya.
be the no command that destroys the showstopper, so keeps Mako safe. What a way to hold on to backside. Carpe 8 noted
Bisa
it.
bang, ayo bisa bang. 8-3 yuk, 8-4 yuk, 8-4 yuk.
Carpe just trying to draw out the attention. Mako, is he aware of it? He is! You just cannot make out this guy. He's been through so many different rounds. And now, a 5v4. Not the best weaponry for T1. Buzz, down to 6 HP. But his job now, just to draw aggro from Xcure, keep him tied up as the members on T1 start to dwindle down one by one. Carpe, moving down to Moss Shirley, wanting to make sure that the utility is there. He gets 1 kill against Foxy9. Now they try to swarm in against the Snakebite, and they all get sprayed down by the Stinger. Finally, a second round for T1.
Yeah, it's a good setup. I like this extra.
Paperrex belum lawan siapa ya? Lawan TS belum sama.
Viper's Pit. It
Udah
cuts off one of
damage
the
kan.
angles, and the angle that DRX
Lawan
is forced to take there.
TS,
So that's really smart
lawan
planning for the side of T1. Good holds on the
apa ya?
flanks as
TS
well.
apa lagi?
So that's a huge
5 kan, 5
moral
tim.
victory now
Bleed
for
belum.
T1, who seemingly were shut out of this half. It's a nice setup for Rossi. I
TS
really,
bleed.
really
Harusnya
like
sih
the way
tiga-tiganya bisa menang terus sih. Tiga-tiganya bisa
all
menang
of
semua
his
sih
pieces
harusnya.
in the right places to make that retake
Harusnya
impossible
tiga-tiganya bisa
for
menang semua,
DRX.
guys,
So now
harusnya.
operator for Buzz able to buy RT1 off the win of that eco.
Oh, they're walking right into it. There's the Trailblazer, and he doesn't bite. He waits for the extra members. He goes for a second. And Buzz shuts down the entire approach from Showers. He's still aiming for a third. Foxy9 will pick up that kill as they get tagged by the Cypher Intel. Mako peeks out amongst the chaos, making sure to cover his teammates' backs. And in a blink of an eye, it's only Rossi with 35 HP and a dream. All 5 members of DRX left alive.
Susah banget dapat
Now
8-4
Stacks
doang ya
still
bro. 9-3 sini bisa 9-3 ya.
trying to get over
10-2 berat sih kalau
Stripwire,
10-2.
he gets tagged. He's afraid of the swarm coming in. Bane just drawing the attention. This is all so Buzz can try to get what seems like another showstopper. But Mako says, this is gonna take too long. Cleans up the kill.
Well, a valiant attempt from Rossi, but too little too late here for
Anjir,
T1.
itu ngapain Rossi ya?
So ready for that situation there. Had it all planned out in his head. Saw that utility and thought, I'm going to stick around for the first and then immediately blast back out before they could even react. Make matters worse, it's Saya, one of the players who could maybe try to quickly challenge Buzz's op angle with some blast backs of his own, who's taken out. The follow-up just shut down. Izu, no comfort. Nothing Rossi can do, to be honest. And yeah.
Wishing he got
Di kick off lumayan sih T1.
But hey,
Di
you've been getting
split
these
1
free
kurang ini
orbs.
makanya.
It's getting a lot of showstoppers.
Oh, T1 finally wanting to punish it, but it might just be a little too late. They get 0-pointed, trying to go for that pop flash. The fragment. Now the showstopper. Does he see him? Not quite. Just has to wait. Just really wants to get this kill. He wants to see, oh, you're in the corner. Welcome over back to the B site. I mean, this is just Buzz having a read on Saya. This is a straight up duel between the two races, and Buzz comes out ahead once more. T1, they just want a 3rd round in this half.
They're just outplayed at every step. I mean, on split and right over here to bind. These
Nah,
maps
ulti
DRX
lagi bro,
comfortable
dibantai
with.
cok anjing jetnya.
At some point,
RS-nya.
having to shift their agents. I mean, Mako has been a Viper for so long, and he's been so darn good at it. He's just right in his wheelhouse. He's got a couple players coming at him, but they get the spot.
timing!
Are you kidding?
I mean, you just imagine because the screen's
Harapnya
up
kalau
for so
mati keluar
long
tuh.
and you see nothing on B. Is this truly a push? How does he get the tag? But it's all enough to keep Mako alive. 30 HP, he'll now back up. Bane has arrived, and so has Foxy9. Goes for the spray. Carpe down to 3 HP. Carpe trying to plant with the wingman. Rossi's going to spray.
Nice, Rossi.
Dizzy tags. Rossi trying to open up the site, trying to bring home just one more round. And Carpe and Xcure will
9-3, let's go.
both get another Buzz. Now all down to him. He already took down the Saya player, but there's 4 more members. Trying to
Malam
recreate
Djaja,
the
malam
match
pokok
given a
polos.
10-2 in the first half, but these snake bites have a different idea. Nope, peeked out just a little too early. And that's going to be Carpe taken down first. But the swing out, all right, Buzz gets
Kalau
3.
dapat 4 gimana
will
tuh?
answer
Kesel
right
banget
back
gua.
for a 9-3 score.
This is one of the few rounds that T1 is able to get Showers control and really put
Okay,
it to
defend,
use.
defend,
Most of the
defend.
time, DRX has been challenging it and really just making it an untenable position.
Ini defense-nya kalau kayak Paperrex mungkin bagus sih, kita nggak tahu guys. Let's see ya. Tadi Paperrex kan defense-nya pakai gini nih kan. Ini aja defense-nya Paperrex juga kan sama kan, ya udah let's see.
Gives T-Round a crucial third round win. So defender side I'm buying, sure. Generally a defender side in map these days. Is it going to be enough though? Is 3 rounds enough for T1? I don't know. I don't know.
2 was not enough for Gen G. We'll see if 3 is enough for T1. Oh, well, their boyfriend can't really watch 3D games because they get dizzy, and they still dragged him out here to watch this banger.
Defense-nya Gen G bagus di ini mah bang.
I mean, if you're gonna watch a match,
Gen
although
G.
I don't know, the night with the likes of Saya player and Buzz flying around and Paperrex
9-3 masih oke lah. Tapi kan 11-1
really
ya. 11-2 tadi.
And the Gecko in there, throwing literal dizzies at you.
Maybe not the best first.
Nah, ada belajar episode 3 kayaknya nggak ada hari ini guys, capek cok.
Hopefully you warm up to it.
I mean, at least you got a banger day.
That's true. It's been exciting, that's for sure.
Oke, kan mau lihat ini nggak?
Gue
lupa kasih link gue guys.
And the chance comes
Kalian mau lihat ini nggak mirip nggak sama si ini guys?
Both of our respective Korean teams from the crowd still
masih usaha.
Late here in Coex.
Nearing 10:30 p.m. and the T1 fans desperately hoping that it gets extended just a bit longer. DRX now on the attack.
Mirip gak sama kayak stack tadi guys?
Foxy9 just waiting to
mirip gak?
to make sure that if they need to, they can TP and rotate over to A with that shower cam control.
17 kills in that half for Buzz. Just absolutely incredible what he's able to do. Some good operator moments for him. This
DRX has already read through, right? This default that T1's been bringing out. High tide. Spirit waiting for it. He's good for 1. He expects another, but it's going to be 3. And he's not able to clean up the rest of the kills. Stacks and Buzz. They won't push their luck any further, and they repeat.
Okay, let's go. 2 lawan 2.
Rossi. Now a quick 2v2. Foxy, is he going to go for the teleport play alongside his teammate?
He's got to wait for Mako to slide up by the door if he's going to go there. But instead, Mako's going to try a different angle, see if they can crunch from sight. Spikes down, so T1 playing it a little bit close to the vest, but now they're starting to push out.
I mean, this is just a timing read on both sides. DRX trying to check if they push through, and Mako will turn around in time. And that's TP. Saya with a frenzy, and just in range, and a triple for the duelists as they get 4 on the board for T1.
It's so funny that on every single map, DRX wins their first pistol.
Yep.
And then T1 wins the next one. Just really great stuff from both teams. You can see how deep they're going to dig. Certainly no give up in T1 at all. That frenzy works a treat. D1 tries to get into hookah. They try to reaggress those angles. But then that phenomenal TP timing from Rossi shuts any hope of that working down. So a little bit unexpected there for DRX. They pay the price. Over to the Marshal, some Bulldogs. Spectre for Izu. So Saya always so crisp, so clean. What can DRX do on this attacker's side?
Very aggressive high-low setup right on each side of the toxic screen. Waits for the counter peek, and it's going to be Carpet. Side player good for 1. Side player now continue on with 2. He still stays alive with 6 HP. Tries to check for showers as they get pushed, but it's going to be just
okay, Coco Escuret, let's go.
Clean it up. It's going to be a fairly easy round here on the anti-eco for T1.
And it's the perfect start that they need to this second half. They're able to keep 3 of their guns over. That's about what you're looking for. At worst on those anti-ecos, you're able to upgrade to a couple Vandals as well.
Semangat! Ayo, semangat!
Start working the map. Saya so blah.
Yeah, that second shot just catches the lips, and they secure it. Coming back online as well.
Stones just sparks.
So we'll see, can they continue? Going to try to even out with a couple extra rifles on their side of T1. The default with the high tide, but the summit's a fake. It's a push out of a short. And Mako, not sure if he quite reads it, but he gets a fishy feeling.
He's got the trap wire there, though, to cover his back, so should be A-okay now.
Meanwhile, Foxy9 still has showers control, so if things go south, they could still pinch right back onto the A side. I mean, this is one heck of a default here from DRX to counter out the potential pushes out of T1.
They could TP if that control is maintained, but now you've got players starting to slide back towards the A site. Still, though, going on a lurk is Saya. I think think he's going to hold here, maybe until the execute comes through. See if he can catch him a little off guard in the timings.
Yeah, it could also be something to maybe pressure DRX on the execute, and it looks like it's just going to come right through from DRX, and Buzz finds Rossi right above the high tide. He's trying to look for more, just being the scout for his teammates. The pop flash will keep them at bay, but Bane still gets one. Execute trying to stay desperately alive, eventually goes down. Now, just Saya player and Carpe. Saya player holding on to Hookah. Carpe, he's got Foxy 9 behind him. Doesn't have as much time as he thinks he does. Needs to find this first kill. Trying to check for utility.
Yeah. Lot to work with.
Sound, but that's just enough time as he backs out for the Dizzy. Foxy 9 picks up the kill, and Saya will say, was our bonus round. Not enough creds for myself. Just trying to keep the Vandal, maybe one extra exit frag.
0 point to check to see if he was hanging around. Bane seemingly aware, but now DRX pedaling off the site. And he's just going to use the TP to get the safety. Explosion will come through, and DRX able to come right back. Felt like it might be a little bit dicey, but that early position from Buzz on top of that shed is just never accounted for by T1. Nobody's even looking up there, and he has overview of the back end of that site. Cleans out a player. That gives them a lot more comfort getting through. Nobody hiding in any of the smokes close to deal with them, so Buzz doing tremendous work on the entries. The follow-up from the rest of his team, so strong. Same toxic screen again at the beginning of the round.
Kok tahun 98 lu berapa Kak Cok? 95 Cok. Bener berarti tuan gua.
No idea.
I mean, perhaps just assuming that their high tide was covering it, right? Because this has become a very common position on these executes onto the B site. So that's something that T1 will have to keep tabs on. Buzz once again left hanging on that fist bump. See if he eventually gets it. He did confirm on his social media that he did indeed get his fist bump from Bane.
Bane's
so dialed in, man. He's just ready to play. You know, the fist bumps are secondary.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fiending for this opportunity to play at the top of the stages here in Korea. And now not squandering this opportunity. It's going to be an early orb for T1. Trying to push out, just going for dry contact. And they will get one. Trying for the pop flash. It's enough just to buy time. No, it's not! Buzz catches them on the exit. T1 perhaps trying to greed for yet another kill. That's Buzz. He's now in the flow state. Gets a triple kill. Trying to open up the site all on his own. Calls for Bane. Calls for Spike. Meanwhile, Mako still opening a site in case he gets stopped on the entry. Look at this. Bane still holding right by, but it doesn't matter. It's just kills across the map. 11-5 for DRX.
Unbelievable read there by Buzz. Gets backed up by the flashback. And still feels like I probably have enough time to do this. They're trying to cover him. And then immediately just says, well, I'm going to try some flashbacks of my own here. And trying to do what he can, but just not quite ready for that angle. As he's going for the TP. Unbelievable timing.
I mean, DRX is dialed in, and now just trying to pressure. Nice and fast. You've still got that showstopper already online from Buzz. Thanks to that last round. The high tide default being respected by DRX, but nothing off of it for T1. They're holding close on guard, and Carpe gets spotted. This is going to be enough here for Izu. The pop flash comes through Izu, but it's only a Guardian. He can't get the second kill. Carpe will equalize things. Now a 4-3 lead in members.
That's a great adjustment here by T1. Shutting down some of this early aggression, taking the showstopper out of the equation. Now you have a bunch of ults to work with if necessary. If DRX even gets to the plan, it's
sampaikan pada jiwa yang bersedih, begitu dingin tembakanmu ini.
Don't want to give over the info, trying to keep it quiet.
Oke, 4 lawan 3 guys. Bisa ya, kalau ini menang bisa sih.
They're already in the entrance. Carpe senses something, perhaps a jump peek, catching a glimpse on the way down. The Dizzy and then the Thrash to keep them tied up. One's been detained. Foxy 9 hiding in and out of the cyber cage, but that's going to be enough. The orb now picked up by Mako, recognizing that the round is already lost. Just wants to get closer to the Viper's pit. Look at the creds. Well enough for DRX, so Mako just looking to see if he can get a kill. And he does, and that's the Viper's Pit now online for Mako. That's the best he could hope for.
And any economic damage he can do there is great. Look at the creds for T1. They're in the gutter. So certainly you would love to get any of those extra kills. Not sure what Carpe is going to be able to buy there, but a great flash timing from Izu to set him and Carpe up for those kills to make this
Berat sih, tapi ya udahlah. Si bisa guys, belum 12 ini kan.
Everybody over. Get those crossfires set up. Great patience from Carpe to wait things out. Good jiggle peeking there.
Ulti 2 biji.
Oke,
let's see guys, ada ulti juga. Escure top frag, bro.
Now this round, big ultimates for DRX to play around with. Couldn't get the showstopper.
Apa jadi token reaction tur follow mulu? Kapan meluncur jadi player? Kagak mungkin jadi player, Jing. Gua Jing.
Yeah.
It's being contested this time.
Yeah, he really always was able to kind of push all the way into the site on a timing if he so chose. But this time, it looks like DRX, they actually want to eventually pivot to A, so no need to rush it. They'll just go for a pinch on a timing. Put some pressure over to B. Rossi wants to check for it. The trade's going to be there. Saya thinks it's the main force, but it's not. And now it's just going to be the showstoppers traded for each other. Actually sent against Buzz. He stays alive with 16 HP. Paint shells to make sure that the site is secured. Now DRX, what is the post-plant position? They don't have showers, so it's just the pit around labs. Reckoning to start to push them out. This should give Izu an opportunity to pinch in for A short as well. DRX bouncing back and forth within their own Viper's pit. Izu couldn't find the kill onto Mako, and now it's all coming from one side. DRX well aware of this possibility. The spray's coming through, but it's just about keeping the Viper alive. Carpe stuck in lamps. He gets spotted in the last second as Buzz secures the kill. Stacks. DRX, all of DRX coming through. They take down Saya player, and it's just one member of Excurate.
Aduh!
An opening in. Will have to be a save, and that will give match point over to DRX.
Just tremendous work here by DRX. Foxy gets traded. That kind of causes Saya to think that he can get away with a showstopper there to maybe catch DRX a little flat-footed. Does not come through.
Izu turu, Carpe turu dah berarti.
On that powerful ultimate that gives DRX the space they need to get in and get this Viper's pit down.
Izu nggak nembak mulu,
And then DRX working it to perfection in and around it.
Kalau dapat si Mako menang itu guys, tapi nggak dapat ya.
Too much. I didn't catch what Mako said there.
Yeah, not quite.
Dia mah skor Paperrex lawan Genji bang ya juga ya.
It's just going to be DRX at match point now. And T1, 6 rounds to go if they want to drag this out into a late night of overtime. They've taken aggressive Showers control, but Foxy9 well aware of this. Looking for the peaks. He's just trying to draw them out one by one. He will catch one. That's the raise down, but Showers still in control by Rossi. This time, the fast flank coming in from the rest of T1. All through A short, and look at DRX's position.
Susah bro, itu nge-pick satu, dapat satu, tapi lu dapat info lu
They know that Showers has been given up. They know the flanks have been coming in. The hard push.
Lu kalau nge-pick berdua gitu guys, itu paling bener lu dapat lu nggak nge-trade. Jadi lu dapat satu udah bener banget. Karena kalau lu nge-trade doang, satu kill dapat satu kill mati satu, tapi dapat infonya bro.
Stacks, if he can get a kill here, it might as well secure the entire map, and he gets it. T1, they still have so much to clear. They have to push out. Excurate will answer back, but it's just 2 members against 3. Util still in the hands of DRX. Somali lands, and Rossi goes down. And Excurate, the last one standing, but he will fall to the IGL of DRX. And DRX says once again, we return to try to reclaim our throne here on home ground.
Buzz is letting him know it. I mean, just tremendous stuff on split and bind.
Oke teman-teman, nice try untuk T1 ya, yang sudah kalah 3 kali guys. Masih ada 3 match lagi untuk T1. Semoga T1 bisa memberikan match yang terbaik di match 3 match terakhir. Terima kasih semua. Kita istirahat dulu, nanti lanjut lagi live. Nggak tahu live apa guys. So thank you teman-teman semua. Sampai jumpa di next live streaming. Kita bertemu lagi nanti ya guys ya.
Make themselves essentially the defenders in that post plant. Insanely good stuff.
Just a hard read as